And today is our third session. And what's so special about our session today? From end to end, today the entire program will be handled by youth leaders themselves. That means you will yourself be the presiding officer, youth leader of the day, all the assignees, all the speakers, the topics, and as well as evaluations. Means that you are on your own. And we will be just there, sitting behind, enjoying the show, performing you all so well on stage. So step by step, the stages in the journey of growth that you are witnessing in front of our eyes. And in the last meeting, we were a little bit sad for one particular reason. What was that? Our chief coordinator was not there with us. Our chief coordinator has a very specific habit. If at all there is any shortcoming on his part, what he will make sure is he will follow more than compensate for it. Last week we missed DTM Manansi Nair, so what he has done today, he has come together with his Madam Manansi Nair as well as Dr. Sreshtavi Nair. We are so fortunate to have Vijay and Sreshta together with us. Dear all, with that, I don't want to take much of your time. We have a packed agenda with 2 workshops, so let us proceed fast. We do not wait for anybody. We said we will start at 3. If the people are not there, with the people who are present, we will start, and our people are ready for it. That's what we saw in Liam. With that spirit on, please help me welcome to the stage DTM Manoj Sinayar, our Chief Coordinator.
Thank you, dear President, for that very nice introduction as well as introducing my family. I wish everybody will enjoy this meeting as well, like our previous meetings. Dear adorable youth leaders, enthusiastic parents, well-wishers, honorable guests, fellow Toastmasters, very warm good afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon. I am sure that the whole bunch I addressed is very well in tandem with the program and is enjoying from the first minute to the last minute of the meeting. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Absolutely. Today, let me start my address by pointing out some of the important points which we are missing, and you all can improve upon that. Let me start with a good afternoon. Yeah, this is the first point I want to teach you. When I introduce an or even anybody coming to the podium, coming in the lectern, introducing you with a good afternoon, what you will do? You will reciprocate it with a good afternoon, a very nice good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Fantastic. One level. Then, all the sessions can start your activities in the beginning of the session itself, even for some before the session start. What I mean is, all the assignees which are present should be prepared enough to do their assignments, right? And they should start even from the beginning, and not only that, before the beginning as well. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
So, what are your responsibilities? What are our responsibilities? It is not only for youth leaders, it is for all of us. What are our responsibilities? Let me start with some examples, okay? The Toastmaster of the day. What Toastmaster of the day has to do? When he comes to the meeting, he should check whether all the assignees are ready, all the speakers are ready, whether podium is set, anything is missing, the presentation is okay, whether word of the day, theme of the day is displayed. Am I right? So we have a work to do even before the start of the meeting. Okay, so that is why I request all of you to come at least 15 minutes before to check all these things. Then only the meeting will be perfect. Now what happens for you, the Toastmasters are doing, it becomes their responsibility, but in fact, it is our responsibility. Every person has to keep up their responsibilities and take charge of that. Then only things will be complete. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, the Toastmaster of the day also should note down any changes in the agenda. We have an agenda. I have circulated to everybody. Has everybody got it or not? Everybody got it. So he has to go through the agenda. If any changes in the agenda should be noted down, and when his or her address comes, he or she should point out, yes, these are the changes in the agenda, and you should put it out. Correct? And we have rectified with this so and so personnel. Change the personnel into somebody else, and we are managing. Am I right? Okay? That's one point. And another thing. General evaluator, grammarian and word master. General evaluator starts his duty from the beginning of the meeting itself. Should come, he should see whether the meeting is starting in time. He is the evaluator of the whole meeting. Okay, whether the meeting is 1 minute late, put it up as a point of improvement. You can improve upon that 1 minute in the coming session. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Okay, so that should be the point, another learning. Similarly, grammarian and word master. Grammarian and word master should start from the beginning of the session. So whether the the person opening the session, whether the president of the club, whether the coordinator, whether they are using the word of the day optimal is there, then let us note down that too. So our journey starts from there itself. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Next, timer. So when the timer comes, what he has to do? When he comes, he should check whether the timing devices are okay, whether the cards are okay, whether it is all working or not. Anything is missing there, where the timing sheet is ready, script is ready. Any doubts are there, they can clear. Okay, these things the timer can do. And now comes to the very important voting slips. So as per the requirements, voting slips has to be distributed before the start of the meeting. Every person should get that voting slip before the start of the meeting. The vote counter should ensure that every person in the session should get the voting slips in advance. Okay, we will make sure that from the next coming meetings. One more point. Attendance register, guest register, we have all that with us. I have made everything ready for you. But that should be circulated. Whoever guest comes, they should register their names, and if any comments, they should record that. For that, we have to hand it over to the guest, hand it over to the Toastmasters as well. Who should do that? Who should do that? Sergeant Tabs. He is the person who should ensure that these things should be done in time. So every person in our session has the responsibility, and we all have to adhere to the responsibilities. Then only the meeting will be a complete one. I will give you some such tips time and again, no worries. Now I have a question for you, very important question. Do you like my French Mustaq? How many of you want me to continue with the same? You all want that? Yeah? Fantastic. Very good, I will continue. Why I asked this question to you, because when I was talking You are all in attention mode. I just want to bring the smile in you. You just smiled when when made a self-criticism and asked that question. So keep a smile with you every time. It is an improvement for us. Each and everybody can improve upon with a smile. Yeah, that's all for today for you, from my side. Now, today, our session will be managed by a fantastic youth leader. Before going into his credibilities, let me tell about his father. We all envy him because his dressing sense, his appearance, always be one of the best ever seen in Toastmasters. Toastmaster Muhammad Ishaq, fantastic youth leader. He will take up activities perfectly and genuinely he will do it. That is his character. And like father, like son. Youth leader Mirza Irshad. He is exactly following his father. He is his mentor too, and perfectly managing the things in time. Anytime, if any of us need a help, just make a call. He will be ready with a solution, an answer. That is the quality of youth leader Mirza Irshad. With a round of applause, let me welcome this fantastic.
Coordinator president called actually. Yeah. YLP president you need to call that he is going to.
I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry for two things. I missed that. So everybody can mistake. I also made a mistake, right? So there are two things which I missed. First of all, let me apologize for not joining the meeting, joining the last meeting because of my official duties. Extremely sorry for that. I really missed it. I have seen the whole video, but I really missed that fantastic session. Extremely sorry for it. And now the second sorry is for, and I have jumped again into the session by calling the youth leader before the president. Okay, extremely sorry, youth leader Divya. Let me apologize and let me have a word of appreciation for this fantastic youth leader. When we have met her for the first time with her fat parents, we all felt a fantastic personality behind her. Without any prejudice, she had performed a table topics in front of us in our first meeting. I really appreciate the quality leader in her. I wish her all the very best. Welcome to the podium. The podium is yours. All the best.
Thank you very much, our YLP coordinator, Toastmaster Manoj sir. Good afternoon, fellow youth leaders. Good afternoon. Distinguished Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon to everyone. I hope you all are doing well and I welcome you, all of you, for our third YLP meeting. Before we begin, please help me welcome our secretary to give us a report of our minutes of our previous meeting. Youth leader Aisha. Please give a big round of applause for her.
Minutes of meeting. Youth leader Afra Ashraf called the meeting to order at 3:05 p.m. and read out the mission statement of International Toastmasters. DTM Hari Shankar welcomed all the members and called upon Assistant Coordinator Toastmaster Sabu Creatus. Since DTM Manu Jungle had an urgent meeting to attend, he was not with us on that day. President Divya Sridhar called the secretary to announce the minutes of the meeting. Youth leader Aisha Fatima announced the minutes of the meeting. President Youth Leader Divya Sridhar introduced the YLOD of the meeting. Youth Leader Leah Ann Titus was the YLOD. YLOD introduced the theme of the day, which was It's All in the Mind. Youth Leader Mohammed Farhan was the General Validator. The word master and grammarian was youth leader Joseph Xavier, and he introduced the word of the day, ecstatic. Youth leader Arnab Gupta was the timer. YLOD invites the workshop presenter DTM Anit P. Kumar, introduction to international speech and organize the speech. YLOD invites the below youth leaders for icebreaker speeches. Youth leader Mohammad Roshan, youth leader Mohammad Harun, youth leader Vedant Kumar, youth leader Mirza Irshad, youth leader Karthik Suresh, youth leader Pragati P. Pillai, youth leader Siddharth Manoj, youth leader Faraz Shafi, youth leader Farzeen Shafi. Youth leader Arnab Gupta announced the time for each icebreaker speeches. Youth leader Aisha Fatima was called upon for jokes. While Lodi invites table topic master, youth leader Aaron Emmanuel Joshi. The table topic speakers were youth leader Divya Sridhar, youth leader Mohammed Faiz Naufal, youth leader Mohammed Ishan Malik, youth leader Safaz Jonathan, youth leader Joanna Serra, youth leader Arnab Gupta, and youth leader Isha P. Nausha. Table topic master calls the timer to say the timing of section 1. While Lodi invites the table topic master, youth leader Bhamika Singh, the table topic speakers for section 2 are youth leader Afra Ashraf, youth leader Joel Roshan, youth leader Ryan P. Narsha, youth leader Mohammed Mazin, youth leader Adarwa Hanman, youth leader Raj Hanman. Table topic master calls the timer to say the timing of section 2. While Lodi invites the general evaluator. General evaluator calls evaluators for icebreaker speeches. Evaluator 1 for speaker 1 and 2 was DTM Shivada Sangal. Evaluator 2 for speakers 3 and 4 was DTM Bichu Uncle. Evaluator 3 for speakers 5 and 6 was Toastmaster Manoj Kumar. Evaluator 4 for speakers 7 and 8 was Toastmaster Roshan Patrick. Evaluator 5 for speaker 9 was Toastmaster Sushil Gupta. Table topic evaluator for section 1 was DTM Elna Rajan. Table topic evaluator for section 2 was DTM Sabu Teachers. General evaluator called Joseph Xavier to announce the word master and grammarian report. General evaluator calls A.H. Founder to announce the report. General evaluator gave the podium to YLOD. YLOD invites President Harish Chandra and Toastmaster Sabu Teachers to announce the icebreaker and table topic winners. YLOD invites President Youth Leader Divya Sridhar. President invites VP Education Youth Leader Mirza Irshad to explain the next meeting rule. The meeting adjourned at 7:02 p.m. and followed by delicious dinner. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Aisha. Are there any changes or corrections to her report? Hearing none, I confirm this as the minutes of our previous meeting. Thank you. Today is not just a day. It is an opportunity in front of you. Dear Toastmasters, youth leaders and guests, in the middle of everything, there lies an opportunity, said Albert Einstein. It is now season of mangoes. And how many of you like mangoes? Me too. If you look at a mango tree, what comes to your mind? What do you feel to do next? If you just look at a mango tree? Right. But for me, before that, yes, you're right, is to immediately think about picking up a stone, look around so that no one's there. Now, if you want to strike a mango, you have two choices. First choice, if you have one stone, you need to aim at a bunch of mangoes. Second choice, if you have a bunch of stones, throw them all together and aim at one mango. You might ask now that if I have a bunch of stones, why should I aim at a single mango? Because of that, single mango is ripe. It all depends on what you have to do with you, whatever you have. Both are called as strategic planning, where you are best assured that you will win at least a mango. Life is also the same. We have a lot of opportunities in front of us, but maybe we are limited with resources. Or we might be limited with opportunities, but the resources are plenty. Fellow youth leaders, we at Periyar Youth Leadership Program have a bunch of opportunities available for us to hone our personality skills. Our great leaders have planted this great mango seed named YLP, which has given us a great opportunity in front of us. We have a bunch of mangoes to be harvested, for which we, as youth leaders, need only is to throw one stone to harvest this mango named skill. That stone is none other than time. We need to devote a small time of ourselves and take up the assignments in this youth leadership program and work relentlessly towards it, so that we can harvest the best fruit out of it, which is communication and leadership skills. Let's ensure that we follow the 4 following steps. First, to volunteer to take up assignments for the next meeting. Devote some time daily in the evening to prepare for this assignment. Rehearse in front of your parents and then to your mentors, and be ready to conquer the audience. So, dear youth leaders, are you ready to apply the mango and stone theory?
Yes.
Yes. By doing so, we can be rest assured that the harvest, to harvest the most tasty mango of our life, which is communication and leadership skills. On that note, let us start with our educational session, and to conduct our today's 3rd meeting of YLP program, please help me welcome our wonderful youth leader, rightly introduced by Manoj sir, youth leader Mirza Ershad. Please give a big round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, for such an elevating and encouraging introduction. Dear Presiding Officer, fellow leaders, distinguished vendors, and Toastmasters, a very good afternoon to one and all. Our theme of the day is bucket list. First of all, do you know what is bucket list? Yes. Go.
To-do list.
Even I know, I heard from my school and my teachers tells that a bucket list is a thing that list of things that what you have to do in the future and any other activities.
Thank you. Bucket list is a list of all the goals you want to achieve, dreams you want to fulfill, and the skills you wish to experience during your lifetime is called bucket list. Let me tell you a very best example for this. I am sure this our Periyar YLP program is one among from the bucket list of DTM Manoj. He would have taken a lot of struggles to do this and arrange the program, but he could accomplish this because of his strong desire. The very best item from his bucket list. Am I right, Anna?
Absolutely correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me share a small bucket list from my list. I want to play football with Ronaldo and Messi. I need to learn some new languages. I need to travel all around the world. I want to be a very good speaker. I want to bring some difference in someone's life. I need to travel on an elephant. Day by day, I am expanding this bucket list. If you don't have a bucket list, start right now. You can mention anything in your bucket list. Forget about accomplish that or capable to achieve that now or not. Start preparing the list very soon and work hard to achieve. Are you interested to prepare the bucket list?
Yes.
Very good. All the very best. The very interesting thing is that once you start preparing, you can understand the taste and difference of the ingredients you like. Don't put too much of the list because which may not able to complete this and accomplish everything. I have only one request. If you're a traveler or anything very interesting doing from your bucket list, don't forget to call me to join with that. I wish you the very best. So with this, let us start our meeting. Today, we have a delicate team of assignees who will wisely guide us in building our today's meeting. I request you to hold your applause until all the assignees are introduced. General Evaluator. Yes, General Evaluator. To keenly observe today's proceedings, we have our General Evaluator. He's studying in 10th standards. He loved to read books. Youth Leader Adib Sheikh. I will introduce him later in the evaluation segment. May I request Youth Leader Adib Sheikh to acknowledge his presence and explain the role in brief?
Good afternoon, everyone. My role as general evaluator is to observe and evaluate everything from beginning to the end of the meeting and to lead a constructive evaluation session when called upon to do so. I will wrap up the entire proceedings of the meeting, complementing good practices and indicating the areas requiring improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Table topic master. To conduct the table topic segment, we have a table topic master, your leader, Sifas Jonathan. I will introduce him at the table topic segment. May I request youth leader Sifas Jonathan to acknowledge his presence?
Youth Leader of the Day, fellow youth leaders, respected Toastmasters and guests, good evening. Today my role is TT Master. Table topics is one of the best ways to practice thinking and speaking on our field. I will introduce a topic and call on the speakers. Over to you, my lord.
Thank you, table topic master. Word master and grammarian. I invite youth leader Karthik Suresh to explain the word of the day in brief and his role from the podium. Please give a round of applause.
Dear fellow youth leaders, Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, a pleasant afternoon to all of you. Today I have a dual role to play as your word master and grammarian. As a grammarian, I will carefully listen to your speeches and take note of the good and not so good usages of language. As your word master, to introduce a new word as the word of the day and explain the different usages of the word with proper illustration to enable us to expand our vocabulary. At the end, I will present my report, then called upon by our general evaluation. The word of today's meeting is optimal. It is already displayed in the agenda and the board. The word optimal is an adjective, meaning best or most favorable. Definition: best or most favorable, or most desirable or satisfactory. Synonyms: best, better, adaptive, improved, effective, and optimal. Antonyms: worst, least, poorest, suboptimal, substandard, and unideal. Now let me give you some examples of the usage of this word. There is an optimal distribution that can be achieved. Under optimal conditions, the plants grow quite well. The scientists are seeking an optimal solution for global warming. I would request all speakers and the scientists to just go ahead using this word. Thank you.
My sincere gratitude to youth leader Karthik Suresh for selecting such an elevating word. I request all the speakers and assignees to use this word optimally as much as possible. Thank you, Word Master and Grammarian. The next is our counter. May I request youth leader Mohammed Roshan to explain his role?
Good afternoon, everyone. My role as our counter today is to listen to all the members and make notes of sounds used as verbal crutches and report them when called upon to do so. To count the words used as unwanted pauses and fillers during speeches and report them as pauses and fillers. I will submit my report at the end of the educational session when called upon to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, youth leader Mohammed Roshan. Next is timer. Youth leader Leanne, can you please explain your role as timer?
A very pleasant good afternoon to you all. My role as a timer today is to keep track of the time for all the speakers and the evaluation sessions. The time allotted for icebreaker speech is 4 to 5 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the higher side. The time allotted for table topic speakers, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the higher side. The time for prepared speeches evaluators, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the higher side. For table topic evaluator, the time allotted is 30 seconds for each speaker and for overall evaluation is 30 seconds. I will report the exact time given by each participant at the end of each session when called upon to do so. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, leader Leanne. The next is word counter. Youth leader Ishan Malik, can you please explain your role as a word counter?
Actually, I will give an answer.
Oh, okay. No problem. The next is Job Master. Job Master Youth Leader Siddharth Manoj. Can you please explain your role?
Mr. Gray, fellow youth leaders, dear Toastmasters and guests, a warm good afternoon to all. Today my role is as the joke master, and I will try my best to entertain you all with 3 jokes. Hope you will like them all. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Siddharth Manoj. Fellow youth leaders, please let us put our hands together to give a big round of applause to all the assignees. Thank you. Our meeting will have 4 segments. To start with workshops session, prepared speech segment, table topic segment, followed with evaluation segment. Now let us start our first segment with workshop presentation. Our first educational workshop is Evaluate to Motivate. This is my privilege to introduce the President, D.T.M. Murali Krishnan, Lead Engineer of SABIC, Founder, Director and Sponsor of Mind Academy Toastmaster Club, Past Area Director, Past President of Periyar Toastmaster Club, Past President of AMS. Please help me welcome D.T.M. Murali Krishnan to the podium, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me hear it once again. Like Manoj uncle said, when I say good afternoon, good afternoon. That's the energy. Thank you so much. So thank you, youth leader, for those inspiring words. Myself, I am Murali Krishnan. I'll be taking you through this session called Evaluate to Motivate. First of all, let me take what our president mentioned. This is not just a day, but it's an opportunity. Great message. And not only the day, every moment, every program, every day, every month, every week, we have lots and lots of opportunity, but you are all great human beings because you took the opportunity of being here and doing something to create your bucket list. That is what this kind of programs brings to you. And this year, normally in Jubail, we have many youth leadership programs. We have a youth leadership program from Jubail, Elite, but unfortunately this year it's only one club here. But you are all lucky that you got the opportunity to be the part of this youth leadership program. And I'm sure that this is going to be an incredible milestone in your journey forward. So congratulations to each one of you for being part of this wonderful program. And you may not understand the gravity of it now, but as you travel down the line, maybe 5 years down the line, when you attend, after your degree, going for an interview or something, that's when you really realize how important this program is. Not only there, also these kind of programs transforms you into great human beings. Great human beings with a lot of potential. So congratulations once again. So today we are going to talk about, what is that? Evaluate to motivate. So what is evaluation? Can anyone, let's be more interactive, okay? I don't want me speaking alone and you all sitting and listening to me for next half an hour. Let's all be interactive. You can stop me anywhere you want, you can ask me anything you want. Okay, I will tell if I know the answer. Okay? So what is evaluation?
To give recommendation.
To give recommendation, yes. Giving recommendation is part of evaluation. What else?
To give the good things about the speaker.
To give the good things about the speech. Recommendation 1, a round of applause. Good things about the speech. Then
And improvements. And improvements about the speaker.
improvements about the speech. Areas for improvement, right? Areas for improvement. Great. Areas for improvement about the speech. Give a round of applause. Then
Describe the speech. Describe the speech.
describe the speech. I mean, evaluator will come and describe the speech.
Tell about how is the speech.
How he performed, right? He or she performed. Great. And any other comments about evaluation? All these are evaluation. And it's not only in this platform we get evaluation feedback. It's in day to day. You are all students, right? You all go and write exam. And after a week or 10 days, you get your results back. What is that? Evaluation. You go to a shop, you have so many things there. You pick and choose one. What is the process that go through it? That you select one. It's evaluation. So, when you are like for us, in our company there is an evaluation. Whether to give us the next grade, increment. So this is a regular practice. And it's not only in this platform that we have to do evaluation. So, but the key here in this particular workshop is, someone said here, who said it? Inspire, motivate. You said, right? Who said? To inspire, to motivate. This is the key here. When you are doing an evaluation in Toastmasters, in youth leadership program, the key is to motivate, so that the speaker will come back and deliver a much better speech the next time. So let us see the purpose of evaluation. What is the purpose of evaluation in this particular platform? As someone said, it is to highlight the strengths. It's not only about the areas for improvement. It's all about what strengths the particular speaker is having. We should also learn about our strength. We should understand our strength. So understanding strength. So as an evaluator, when you are here as an evaluator, your first thing is to identify the strength of the speaker and give feedback about their strength. Second is the area for improvement, where they need to improve. So strength and then improvement. And what is the key here? And when you deliver, when you give feedback, it has to be in an inspiring way. It has to be a motivation for the speaker. It's not that you come here and give a very critical analysis and the next time the speaker is not here, he or she will run away. That's not what we want, right? What we need is, he has to go back, understand his strength so that he can further embellish his strength. And then work on the areas for improvement and come back and deliver much better speech next time. That's what we all do. And then at the end, we transform them into better speakers. So what is the key word here?
Motivation.
Motivation. Give a round of applause. The key word here is motivation. So when you are here as an evaluator, just think that your only job is to motivate the speaker. Your only job is to inspire the speaker. Your only job is to find the strength the speaker is having, highlight all the strength, and then give a couple of recommendations. Giving a lot of recommendations also will not help, right? So pick and choose a couple of recommendations so that he can work. It's a gradual process. We ourselves turning into better speakers is not going to happen overnight. It's a long process. So when you are evaluating a speech, just pick a couple of things, fill it up with so much of good things, so much of strength, but give the most important critical areas for improvement so that the speaker can improve, work on it, come back and deliver a much better speech next time. So that is the purpose of the evaluation. Moving forward, how will you do? That's what we are going to do here. As an evaluator, when you come here, you have to inspire. First is connect with the audience. When I came here, what did I do initially? I said good afternoon, right? Then I pumped it up again, good afternoon. And you all started responding to me. What was that? I was new here, you don't know me. Some of you may know me, but most of you may not know me. But I was trying to get a connection with you all, with those good afternoons. So be here, and when you say connect, it could be a story, it could be a quote. There has to be some commonality between the people sitting there and you. That is where you connect. So this is the first thing that you will do when you are here on the stage to evaluate something. Then, as I said, you will talk about strengths. You will talk about the positive comments so that they start receiving. When you come here and start talking about the areas for improvement, will they receive? No. So, what is that? When you start talking about their good things, you are preparing them to listen to the areas for improvement. When you talk about good things, then they will start listening to you. You said this is something. Your strength is your diction, your vocabulary, or your energy. Those are your strengths. Then the speaker will be in a receiving mode. And then you pump it up to that level so that you are comfortable speaking the most critical areas for improvement. That is what, as an evaluator, we should all be doing. Then recommend. Recommend means areas for improvement. Finally, summarize. You know how important when you are doing a speech, the most important aspect of the speech is the conclusion. Correct? That is where the key message is delivered with high power. That is what we take home. That is what, in summary, we will do in evaluation. Moving forward, so how we will do this? This is a technique that we all apply in Toastmasters. We call it CRC. Looks like a burger, right? Nothing but a burger only. So the comment, what are the comments? Like, you know, positive things. Then you put the recommendation, then you summarize it with some good inspiring things. This is called a CRC technique in evaluation. Comment, recommend and comment. So you come here, you get connected, you say some good points, the strengths about the speaker, then put the recommendations, the area you need improvement, and then again inspire them in the summarizing part so that they can come back and deliver the next best speech. So that's how we do this. Time allotted. Time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes for evaluation in youth leadership program or Toastmasters. So at 3, you will see a green light or a green indication. To 2 minutes 30 seconds, you will see a yellow, and at 3, you will see red. And there is a grace period of 30 seconds on upper side as well as lower side. So anybody who come here and evaluate for 1 minute 30 seconds and above is qualified till 3 minutes 30 seconds. So ideally speaking, what you should do at 2 minutes 30 seconds, try to bring in your recommendation part. See, in 3 minutes, how much time you are taking for those strengths and the positive things? 2 minutes 30 seconds. And then use 30 seconds or maybe 45 seconds to bring your areas where you feel like they should improve, and then summarize.
One point, just I want to make.
Yeah.
Since the participants are more, we have reduced the time to 1 to 2 minutes for evaluation.
Oh, okay.
So since 10 are there, so we have to manage the time. That's
so
why.
it's 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes.
Sorry for that. Actually, this is Toastmasters standard.
Yeah.
It's 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes.
So then, in this case, green will be at 1, red is at yellow is at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red is at 2,
Yeah.
with a grace period of 30 seconds on either side.
Yes.
So similarly, you can just change it accordingly. So instead of 2, it becomes 1, and 3 it becomes 2. Okay, so that's the timing that we have here. So what are the key elements? Now when I evaluate, what I do is before the speaker comes to the podium, I'll have a piece of paper. Now I'm going to put some key elements, so you can also put these key elements. So when you go through the speech, you can parallelly note down your points. And what are the key elements? Any speech will have an opening, a body, and a conclusion, and there are transition. Correct? Well, it could be a quote, it could be a story in the beginning, that's how the speaker opens the speech. Then there will be slowly moving on to some personal examples or something that you want to deliver, and there is conclusion. So take a piece of paper and keep these things already written so that when speaker starts speaking, you can note down opening, how it was. Was it, you started getting connected with the evaluator here, the moment he comes here. Those things you can note down then and there itself as the speaker continues with the speech. So, opening, body and conclusion. And there are 2 key aspects, how the transition was. They came and said something and then immediately went on to something totally different. You'll feel like there is no smooth transition between the first part and the second part. So that is again a quality of a good speaker, that there has to be a smooth transition. You should not feel like, okay, it's 1, 2 is missing and straight away it's going to 3 or 4. So how the transition was. So this is one of the key aspects of noting down the evaluation. Then we will go through various other things. You can note down or keep a note of these things in a piece of paper much before the speaker starts speaking. So that what happens? You will not miss these things. Eye contact is very important, right? So if I see Anita Uncle and speak, even though I am speaking to Anita Uncle, you will all feel that I am speaking to someone in the room. If I look at Manoj, and so have contact with everyone, not necessarily. If you speak for 3 minutes, ensure that you are looking at everyone. You don't need to look at one particular person for 3 minutes. You can change. but that eye contact is very important. So this, as an evaluator, you can take note of. Body language. I can do this evaluation like this. Will you feel it, man? Evaluation is something about opening body and conclusion, and there has to be a transition between like. Is it good? You don't feel the liveliness, right? You don't feel the energy, and that is why those gestures are very important. But that gestures, again, it should not get wrong. It has to be in tune with what you are speaking, in tune with the subject, in tune with the message that you are delivering. So that is what body language is. Again, gestures. Nothing but your hand movements, your gestures, voice modulation. When you are talking about a very emotional subject, bring your voice down. Pauses. Right? When I said good afternoon, how my voice was. It gets connected with all of you, right? But if I want to speak something very emotional, if I want to speak something very touchy, that there has to be difference in your voice modulation. Otherwise, it looks monotonous. So the voice, your body movement, the pauses, all these are very powerful tools. So as an evaluator, what you will be looking is how good the speaker was in conveying this message. These are all our tools. As an evaluator, you also will become a good speaker. How to effectively use your voice, how to effectively use your body language, how to effectively use your eye contact, how to effectively use your gestures. So if you write all these things much before you start, much before the speaker starts speaking, you can notice these things. And when you come here for evaluation, you can tell how it was. Could be strength for someone, the same thing could be, someone's strength could be, body gestures, whereas his voice modulation may not be so good. For someone else, it could be otherwise. So you can take note of these things, so these things will become part of your evaluation. Agree? Script, message. If you don't, you just have body language, voice modulation is not going to convey a proper message. At the end, I am telling something and you have to receive it. Where it comes from? It comes from a proper script. So you can talk about the strength of the script, how the message was conveyed. Message is again part of the script. Quotes. People use quotes because quotes are generally available everywhere. So if I speak a quote, you will get connected. Language, how good his language was. Whether they used vivid imagery, so good diction, excellent use of triads. So those kind of things you can bring in to ensure that how effectively they convey the message. And then out of these, there could be certain things which are very strength. So highlight the strength. So if you write, why I am putting these things here is put these things in a piece of paper so that even before the speaker starts speaking, you have a broader outline about what you should be looking for in that speech. And then when you come for all of this, for some it could be strength, for some it could be area for area. Then you will have a couple of recommendations. So you will get from these things, either opening was not good, or transitions were not good, eye contact was not good, whatever it is. So you can bring it as recommendation. And then summation. You will sum it up. In the summation part, what you will do, you will tell again, highlight the strength in the recommendation, and then congratulate or say, it's a kind of summing up of the total evaluation. So this is, and it's not only this. Why I try to highlight it here it is, you can, much before the, I again repeat, much before the speaker starts, you can have a broader outline to put things where you want to look for in a speech. Where you want to look for in a speaker when he delivers the speech. And then I will just show you one table which is anyway not very relevant for you, but this is a judging sheet of evaluation contest. And if you see, the highest mark goes to the quality, analytical quality of how the evaluator analysis part. So all this, if you find strengths here from all these things, you can all bring it here. Then recommendation. How good your recommendations were. Here technique, motivation. See, the technique. How you, it's not only a recommendation you can do separately, you can do analysis, but was it inspiring? That's the third key. And then summation. summation, you will sum it up the entire thing, highlights of good things, highlights of areas for improvement, and then you will sum it up. So this is how, this is actually it is taken from a judging ballot, where in Toastmasters we have evaluation contest. So this is a standard, ballot looks like this. So these are the key elements. Try to bring these aspects into that. That is when you become a standard evaluator, I would say. But there are various things you can do, this same thing. But the key word is, what is it?
Motivation.
Motivation. Give a round of applause for yourself. The key word is motivation. Okay, let me put things. What are the things that you should focus? Point number one. The way in which speaker presented the speech, not the speaker. We are not evaluating the speaker. There is a wrong message. We are not evaluating the speaker, right? What we are evaluating is the speech he delivered. So, the way in which speaker presented the speech. Structure of the speech. You can focus on the structure, how good the structure was. Was it matching the message that is not conveyed? Body language, voice modulation, connect with the audience. Was the speaker able to connect with the audience? Now sometimes you have seen speakers bringing in different topics which is not relevant to people sitting in the audience. So was he able to connect with the audience? Transitions. How his delivery style, did it complement the speech that he delivered? So these are the things that you should be focusing on so that you get all that we said in the previous slide. And then some don'ts. What are that? Evaluate the subject of the speech. We should never evaluate the subject. It is his view, correct? You cannot challenge his view. But what you will evaluate is how well he delivered. Whatever subject, he can bring anything, he or she can bring anything. We are not challenging the subject, but what we are doing is helping him find how well he delivered that speech. Don't come here as an evaluator and repeat the speech. It generally happens. Speakers spoke for around 5 minutes. We are coming here and telling that all the things from beginning to end. We don't need to repeat the speech, but what we need is try how he delivered, he or she delivered. So don't repeat the speech. We should not do flattering. Complete whitewash. This was even though we want to find strengths, but find real strengths. Not that we just come here and say this was good, that was excellent, this was marvelous. No. Even if you are one more key thing, even if you are telling a strength, or even if you are highlighting areas for improvement, try to back it up with some specific point from the speeches. Why you felt that your voice modulation was good? Why you felt your voice modulation was good? Somewhere you need in that subject called for a high level of energy, and your voice matched that high level of energy. That is why you said your voice modulation. This is backing it up with an example. Similarly, if the voice modulation was not good, there was very in-depth or very emotional message that you want to convey, and there also your tone was so high that emotion didn't come out. Will that make sense? No. So don't, even when you are telling good things or bad things, back it up with an example from the same speech. Confront the idea. Don't confront the idea because it is his or her own view. You may be having a different view about that particular topic, but it's his speech. What you are trying to do is, was he able to convey that message? So you are evaluating the way he or she delivered, not the subject or not the idea. Again, our topic is all about motivation, not demotivation. I think I kept it as simple as possible, as short as possible, because I didn't want to, it's half an hour only. So maybe we can just quickly go through some, how much time I have left?
10 more minutes.
10 more minutes, good. So now this 10 minutes, so, okay, correct, then we are going as per schedule. So this 10 minutes, I am open for any questions. So you can throw as many questions as possible. Any questions? Now again, see, asking questions is grabbing opportunity, right? As our president rightly mentioned, grab the opportunity and start asking questions. Any questions? No questions? So then either things were not clear to all of you, or it was so clear that you don't have any questions.
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, in the speech, actually, what is the value of humor in the speech? That was in the evaluation. How we can bring humor in evaluation?
Bringing humor in evaluation. See, I think many times we have heard evaluators coming here and telling that if you add humor, it would have been nice. But then again, it depends on the speech. Thank you. It depends on the speech. If the speech doesn't call for humor in it, there is no point bringing humor there. And again, in terms of evaluation, see, humor always works. But again, we need to see whether that speech calls for you to tell humor in your evaluation. So it totally depends on the subject, but I am of the opinion that humor sells. Humor helps you to get connect with the people. But the only thing is that, let's say it's a very, very emotional subject. And you coming here and telling that you got to bring humor doesn't work. I remember last week, there was a speech, I think probably DTM Viju was there in that stage. And Madam Toastmaster Jyoti was presenting a speech about death. Very, very heavy subject. And it was like she was talking about the things in palliative care and it was a very emotional subject and we were like standstill and we couldn't take it to that level. I was evaluated. One thing which I said in my speech was, we have an example, I don't know how many of you know here, there is a father called Father David Cheremy. Okay, he used to tell subjects, even death in that level, full of humor. And we still remember the way he explained things. So I brought that example to tell her, if this was the case, we would have got the message and at the same time, we would not have been so low. Actually, that day it was like too emotionally charged moment there. And we still say the same person handling the same subject, even though the subject was there, he was handling in such a way and we still remember many points which he was mentioning in his speech, even though it was about them. So it's about whether it gets connected or not. I hope
it's clear.
Any other questions?
On behalf of youth leaders and senior Toastmasters.
Sure,
So I'm talking about 3 minutes evaluation, okay? So normally we have seen that a lot of people will say positives up to 2 minutes, 30 seconds. What I did, because I only one time disqualified the 12th evaluation, then I summarized that 1 minute 30 seconds maximum we should not go, we should go for the positive. Then around 45 seconds we should go for the recommendation and 30 seconds for the summarization. So that will be fine, right?
Yeah, correct. So if you look at this, Shidas, see, up to 2 minutes 30 seconds you can keep on going with your analysis and your highlights, strengths and all those things. But from 2:30 you can start bringing your recommendations. Maybe 30 to 45 seconds you can talk about recommendations, couple of recommendations. Then you will left out with, like, if you go till 3:30, it will be like 15 to 20 seconds for summarizing. This kind of thumb rule you can take, but there is no standard rule for it. Yes, DTM.
Ideally, I would like to explain to them regarding how to approach the evaluation in 1 to 2 minutes, because that will be much more clear for them, rather than we can sticking on to this.
Correct. Yeah, that's a very valid point. That's why I was telling in the beginning. Whatever you see 2, we can translate, convert it into 1. So 1 minute 30 seconds you can go with your areas for your analysis, the positive things and all. So 1 minute 30 up to 2, you can talk about the recommendations. So you still have 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. So you get 30 seconds. You don't need 30 seconds for summarizing. It's like 15 to 20 seconds should be enough. So you can get up to like 30 to 40 seconds you will get for recommendation. So if you see the light, look at the light. So when you say green, when it changes to yellow, you can start talking about recommendations. If you don't want to look at, the moment it turns yellow, understand that now it's time for you to talk about recommendation. And the moment it turns to red, take maybe 10 seconds and then move to the, the summation. Clear? And I made it clear, I guess. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
So approximately how many points for recommendation would be valid?
Ideally will be like 2. Okay. And if you want, you can go 1 more. But see how important it is to the speech. I will go. I'll generally go with 2. 2 is like 3 you can go, but don't go with 4, 5 and all. 3 maximum. Not 1. 2, 3 is like depending on how the speech was. See, again, this is all my views. Okay. There could be some other person who can come in, and there is no standard way of evaluating it. That is why the key word is important. At the end, we need to motivate. We need to inspire the speaker so that he becomes a excellent. He becomes a better speaker and come back with an excellent speech next time. That's our idea. So there is no standard rule. Why we are telling all these things is if there is a standard guideline, it will be easy for us to all of us to adopt that, and then it helps all of us. But if you go and see SATAC level evaluations and all, you will see different levels of evaluation, how people are bringing up it. So it's like there are different things, but since we are all starting, certain guidelines will really help all of us to put things in real perspective. That's why we are talking about this.
Only one more thing actually.
Yes.
TT evaluation you can just highlight, because normally what we saw that the students will repeat the subject also.
Yeah. So in TT evaluation, see, now the TT evaluation thumb rule is like 30 seconds you get for one TT speaker. So if there are 4 TT speakers, you have time 2 minutes. Okay. So ideally, in this 2 minutes, you have to highlight one positive side, one strength of the speaker, and also highlight one area for improvement. So it's a very challenging job as a TT evaluator. So one positive side and one area for improvement. That's all you should be getting. And don't repeat the topic again. First speaker, because if you repeat the speaker, if you repeat the topic, is it going to help the people there, or is it going to help the TT speaker? No. We already know the topic, right? So utilize the time. I know you don't have much time, only 30 seconds. Utilize the time to highlight one area, one strength that the speaker is having, and one area for improvement. So that will be the in case of TT evaluation. Any further questions? If not, thank you so much, YLP coordinator DTM Manoj, President DTM Harish, and YLP President Youth Leader Divya for giving me this opportunity. Wish you all the very best, and let me once again tell you, down the line, 4 years, 5 years, or 10 years, I'm sure that you will all feel that this is one turning point. This is one incredible milestone moment for all of you. So once again, wishing you all the very best. Back to you, Youth Leader. Thank you so much. Okay.
President, coordinator, manager,
Club president also.
Let's have Madam Divya and Shrestha, please. Shrestha and Divya, please come.
You can be in the frame one time.
Please give a round of applause.
So on behalf of all of us, let me request my better part to hand over the plate to honor our dear DTM Murali. Is one of our best friends. So let him be given a big round of applause for giving. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Am I audible? Hello. How was the workshop? Thank you. We have 2 workshops today. Our second education workshop is Introduction to Table Topics. This is my privilege to introduce the presenter, Toastmaster Rahul Agarwal. He is champion in TT speech in division level. A very energetic Toastmaster. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Rahul Agarwal to the podium, please.
3 is wrong.
Okay, so by the time Manoj is getting things set up, so I'm
Yes.
Toastmaster Rahul and I'm in Toastmasters for almost 3 years now. And it's my first time to have a workshop with you. It was in my bucket list by the theme of the day. And I'm sure the youth leadership program, which you have taken up as one of the goals from your bucket list, it's going to help you in the long run. And I'm really seeing the sparkle in your eyes, the bright future you have ahead of you. And I really feel you have made one of the most important decisions to enter the YLP program. This will help you in the long run.
It's not coming. Yeah.
So Ditya Manoj has given me optimal time for the workshop. I'll try to summarize and complete it. So before we enter the presentations, I want to know from you, have you ever tried any air sports like skydiving or paragliding? Or you have? So yeah, some of them are still have that thing in your bucket list. So when the skydiver he jumps from the chopper or the plane, does he have the parachute open in that plane? No, right? And as he descends down, and there is one critical moment. At that point, he is supposed to open the parachute.
Yes.
Right? So even it's the same thing for us. I know you all are studying in school for almost 6 hours a day, and then almost another 6 hours at home, and you have put a lot of effort. But as you move in the career, and the day of the interview, in the first round, second round, third round, and that time the parachute is supposed to open. Right? All the hard work, all the knowledge, all the study you have done, that has to show in that 15 or 20 minutes of the time. So same concept is applies to the table topic. So the table topic, it gives you the opportunity to think in that exact moment of time. It's all about the presence of mind. It's more of a mind game. It helps you to summarize the thoughts in a structured way and then present it to the audience or to the interviewer or to the whoever is not speaking face to face. So that way, this format of table topics in Toastmasters is really helping you to gain a winning formula in your career and your personal life. So I will try to unravel this winning formula in next 20 or 25 minutes, and then see you would like to come to the stage and look forward to attempt the table topics rather than staying there. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to the early stage when I was in Toastmasters, and my most preferred seat was in the last row, and that was because as soon as the table topic used to start, I used to vanish from there. And this may be the experience of some of my companions. And then what we used to give an excuse, oh, I have never done that. Well, everything we have to do it for the first time, sometime, right? But we still give excuse to ourselves. I have never done that. Second excuse we give, I don't know the topic. How can I speak on that? If I know the topic beforehand, I can prepare for it. But then I don't know anything about the topic, how can I speak? But then, when we see others performing on the stage, slowly we see that if others can do, even I can do it. Let me give it a try. Right? So, if this is not this time, maybe next time I will definitely give it a try. And finally, at one day we are saying, okay, I am ready for it, let me try. So it is all about the mindset. And through my presentation, my slides, and sharing my experiences, I will take you to this change of mindset. From making things seemingly impossible to possible. Next slide. So now a lot of study is done on why this kind of fear factor has been happening, and then there are many outcomes from this. So the first thing you have to understand that nothing dreadful is going to happen. So what if you are come and not able to speak? So what if you have come here, you spoke for 1 minute, whether it makes sense or not, but then that's the path, that's the progress you are making, and every time you challenge yourself, you will see that over time you are able to overcome your fear factor. Well, everyone feels nervous. That is for the first time, anything, even for driving or any kind of thing, if you do it for the first time, it's natural to feel nervous. So to get rid of it, its best way is to do some stretching like this. Take a deep breath and go for a power pose. You know your power, of course. In that, you feel powerful more than the audience. Right? Take it as an opportunity. So this is the platform. It gives you the opportunity to speak, to think openly, and try different things. Because that will prepare you for the real challenge. And this Toastmasters platform is giving you the opportunity to improve yourself. Everyone is a learner. We are all here in the Toastmasters to learn and grow. So keep that in mind. Move out of your comfort zone. So if you have not done anything before, just give it a try. So those who are doing the table topics today, I am requesting others to please give their names, and Andrew, be the first one to do the table topics. Be yourself. Be unique. Don't try to imitate yourself or to see someone as the best. Well, you have something unique in you that makes you the one who you are. So be unique. See what is uniqueness in you and live with that uniqueness. Okay? You are unique. So what to expect? So say for the table topic session, and you are being called to attempt the table topic. So you can expect some of the topics like describe a person, place, thing, or an event. So for example, the topics can be describe a person whom you hate the most. Just think about it. So now you can attempt this topic in different ways. The first and easiest is you imagine one person whom you really don't like and hate, and just you can explain that you don't like to meet this person again in life. Well, another way is to give the characteristics of that personality whom you would never like to meet, rather than making a specific person. So as you go on attempting the table topics, and then these things is a growth of continuous growth and learning. The second type can be give an opinion for any statement. So example can be like COVID-19 is nature's wrath on mankind. Do you agree?
Yes.
So this kind of table topics have two aspects. You are either agree to it or you don't agree to it. But don't speak in between. Yes, it's a wrath for mankind. It's a wrath of mankind, and it's rightly happened so that mankind can learn what they are doing wrong. But at the same time, it should not happen. So this kind of attempt, it is not give the right message to the audiences. So if in this kind of table topics, you have to take a firm stand as to you are either agree or disagree to this kind of topics. Another example could be the right of today could be the wrong of tomorrow. Oh yes, I completely agree to it. The right of today could be the wrong of tomorrow. But at the same time, everything what is right today cannot be wrong tomorrow. So this kind of attempt will confuse the audience. So when you are faced with any kind of topic where you are supposed to agree or disagree, you have to take a firm stand, whether you are agree or not. Current events. So they can ask you topics about current events. For example,
You take a near. Yeah.
so what do you think is the reason India won the Thomas Badminton Cup? So this kind of the topics can come from the current affairs. Just think over it. Quotation, proverbs. So this can be very simple, like all that glitters is not gold, or a stitch in time saves 9. So these are very simple proverbs to start with, but then as you advance, it can get a bit difficult. Imaginary situations. So in table topics, they can ask you about any kind of imaginary situation. For example, I was faced with one topic, and the table topic master, he put me a topic. Imagine you met an alien from Mars. What would you discuss with him? And similar, I recall one topic. You are caught in the jungles of Africa, and you have lost your wife. Now you are posed with the king of the jungle, and you want him to search your wife. So this kind of imaginary situations will come in table topics, and it gives you an opportunity to think with an open mind, think out of the box, and apply your mind. Props. So sometimes the table topic master can give you props as mundane as a toothbrush, a comb, and then you have to attempt a table topic on that. So I will give you the mantra how to attempt this topic, and then come with the winning table topic speech. So the first and the most important is to listen to the topic very carefully. Okay, listen to all the words of the topic. So there was one table topic, and the topic was crying is the sign of strength or weakness. But then I heard it as crying is the sign of strength or weakness. So I could not get it is crying or crime, and then I got it all wrong. And then there was another time the table topic master said it's what matters is one's word or one's work. So it was not very clear to me what is the pronunciation of that. So sometimes this can happen, so listen very carefully all the words of the topic. Once you listen to the topic, give yourself some time to think over the topic. Sometimes you are prompted to start right away. At the very first, you know that, okay, I know this topic, and I can attempt it. But then, halfway through, maybe you will be fumbling for the words. Like, for example, the table topic master put me up with one topic and say, describe the place you want to visit in your next vacation. And so I was planning to visit New York. So I just started and I said, yes, I want to visit the New York. But then I didn't have any idea about what would I do once I go there. So sometimes it's good to give yourself some time to think over the topic before you really start. So think over the topic. You have at least 10 to 15 seconds to think over the topic. In this time, you have to plan what really you want to, how you really want to go for the topic. You can plan the approach, like sometimes if it is giving the opinion for agree or disagreement, so you can decide which way you want to structure it. Keep the end in mind. So that's a really important thing. Gather your thoughts. So as any of the speech, the table topic has a start, a body, and a conclusion. So within this time, 10 to 15 seconds, you gather your thoughts, plan your approach, and keep the end in mind, what you want to convey to the audience. Once you have done that, the most important thing is, what's written there? Strong opening. Yes. So the initial 10 or 15 seconds of your speech will decide whether the audience will listen to your speech or not. That's my experience. Even for the rest of the speech, you are doing extremely well, but the opening is weak, you will lose marks. So strong opening, confirm your point of view, personal experience. Well, if you can share some personal experience, and it can be from day-to-day experiences. It doesn't have to be a very out-of-the-way experience from your school times or any of your experiences with your friends. Try to add humor, right? So everyone gets engaged when you are talk some humor. And strongly reiterate your point on view and conclude. So at the time of conclusion, you have to strongly reiterate what you want to convey to the audience. And then how you do it. So it's a pleasing smile. So pleasing smile is a curve that connects people. So always in your disposition, keep a pleasing smile. Be passionate and energetic about what you are saying, because it's your energy that will convey to the audience. So be passionate, be energetic, be enthusiastic of what you are saying, and that will carry the audiences. So if the audiences, keep the audience on your path. So if you want to run and carry the audience with you, you have to be passionate, energetic when you are on the stage. Keep the language simple. Okay, don't use long sentences. So by the time you are at the end of the sentence, and then you don't know where the audience is. So instead of that, use simple language. Connect with the audience. Ask questions or this. But for the table topics, you don't have much time to ask the question. You can do it in the start, but not in between the speech. And also for connecting with the audiences, the eye contact, the body language, the gestures, what you learn in the Toastmastering. That is how you connect with the audience. And finally, there is a takeaway message. So there should be some takeaway message to the audiences. What they learned, what they gained from your speech, so that they want to listen to your speech next time. They remember your speech. Okay, Mr. Mirza had given this speech last time, I remember. So this kind of takeaway message leaves a mark on the audiences. So now coming to the winning mantra for the table topics. Don't ever apologize. You are the boss. So once you have the topic, there is no reason to apologize. So suppose someone gives you a topic, you are the governor of Jubail. So what change you would like to bring in the city? And then one of the speakers, his attempt, oh, I am sorry, I cannot be the governor of Jubail. I am not a Saudi. Come on, you got a speech topic that you are the governor of Jubail. So if someone is speak like that, he will definitely lose marks. So don't ever apologize. There is no need for it, especially in Toastmastering. We are all here to learn and grow. So there is no need to apologize. Don't contradict yourself. This I have already given you a couple of examples. So once you have taken a firm stand, go with your point of view. Don't use long sentences. Don't overshoot the time. Sometimes the time, it is 1 to 2 minutes and with a grace of 30 seconds. So it's not much time. So once you get with so many ideas about the table topic, and then there is a tendency to overshoot the time. So keep track of time, don't overshoot on it. Avoid rambling. So avoid repetition of the same idea. Someone is fall short of the ideas, is repeating the same words again and again. Well, the audiences know for it, and the judges know more of it. And what to do? Cover the topic in totality. So once you listen to the topic, entire topic, when you speak to the audience, you cover the entire part of the topic. Sometimes the speaker will cover only one part of the topic and maybe leave out on other due to shortage of time, or he's not got the topic completely. But that will lose marks. Give personal example if possible, as I said before. Discuss the past, present, and future. Like I give you the topic, what's right for today can be the wrong of tomorrow. So this topic calls for some experience sharing from past, present, and future. Be yourself. You are unique. Going by the timeline, it's not very standard or any written anywhere, but as a general guideline, opening 10 to 15 seconds, body you can speak for 1 or 1.5 minutes, and then finally conclusion for another half minute. So to summarize what I have all said is, once you begin the speech, begin with a smile, walk in style, talk for a while, and end with a missile. So that's it from my side. For youth leaders, I think this much is the starting point is good enough. I'm open to any questions if you have anything. I really welcome if you have any questions.
Yeah. You can ask any type of questions which is coming into your mind. Just ask openly. You feel something, if you are finding something difficult, you can ask, please.
Let me ask, who have attempted table topics till now?
No. They actually,
Yes,
they are
starting.
already on this
No,
one.
last time I attended, last
Attended.
last meeting is attended. Those who are just attended, raise your hands, please.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So you know what is the timing for the table topic now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so all the best and give yourself opportunity. For others, I am requesting you to enroll for the next workshop and attend it. Yes, please.
Sir, how much time will we get to think about the topic?
Yeah, normally 10 to 15 seconds is acceptable. 10 to 15 seconds, it feels very short, but when you are on the stage and you get 10 to 15 seconds, it's good enough time to think and make up your mind to start with the topic. Okay, anyone else? Any more questions?
Any further questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you all.
How was the workshop? Okay, let me invite President and our YLP coordinator and President of Periyar YLP. Give a round of applause.
Let's have Ma'am Vijay on stage.
Come now. It's very welcome to come to the stage. Let us bring them to the stage.
Big round of applause.
On behalf of all of us, all youth leaders and from Periyar Toastmasters, I request my dear wife to hand over this plaque of appreciation to Toastmaster Rohit Rahul Agarwal for the fantastic session he has taken from us. He's a colleague of mine.
Oh, really thank you.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
I think we learned a lot of things with this two workshop, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Now is the most exciting segment, the prepared speech segment. Are all the speakers ready?
Yes.
All the evaluators ready?
Yes.
Timer, are you ready? Our first speaker is an 8th standard. She loves to dance. Youth leader Amiga Singh will deliver her icebreaker project. May I request her evaluator, Youth leader Muhammad Harun, to explain the objective of her. Muhammad Harun, please stand up.
Youth leader of the day, fellow youth leaders, guests, and respected Toastmasters. A warm good evening to one another.
Good evening.
Today I am evaluating icebreaker speech of Pavitra Singh. Time allotted for her is 4 to 5 minutes with 30 seconds grace on both sides. Our topic is courage over fear. Wishing her all the best for this.
Thank you, Youth leader Muhammad Harun. Have you welcome Youth leader Amiga Singh to the podium, please. Speech title: Courage over fear. Youth leader Amiga Singh. Youth leader Amiga Singh. Speech title: Courage over fear.
For me, for me, For me, courage, power, and confidence are in my bucket list because it represents strength, power, willingness, guts, trust, and self-love. Be brave, take risks. Nothing can substitute confidence. Youth leader of the day, respected mentors, distinguished guests, a very warm good evening to all of you. Today I will be giving my icebreaker speech on the topic courage over fear. For those who don't know, my name is Bhamika Singh, and at the end of my speech, I will be telling you my name's meaning. I was born in 2009 in the city of Jamnagar in Gujarat. Started my education there and then moved to Gulf with my parents and my brother. My hobbies are to play games, draw, and of course, maintain the status of laziness. I also love doing journaling. Now let me introduce you all to my father. He's a chemical engineer in Sabik. But I have no idea how did he even become a chemical engineer. You know why I'm saying this? It's because he's not a successful person. He has only 2 goals for me and hasn't even achieved one of it. You know what the goals are? It's for me to become active and for me to wake up early in the morning. But I can proudly say you all that and assure you all that he will not achieve it. As I mentioned my speech topic, courage over fear, I challenge my father to change me in the next years. Let me now introduce you all to my mother. She's one of the kindest and beautiful lady in the world. She believes in naturopathy, Ayurveda and yoga. Whenever we get sick, she takes care of us very nicely and treats us with naturopathy and Ayurvedic medicines. Now it's my turn to introduce you all to my annoying brother, Mr. Vedant Kumar. Even though he is optimal in his studies and is very caring to my family members, I'm still planning to do PhD on a good topic, that is to find something good in it. Looking at him, I don't think I'll be able to complete my PhD because I'm unable to find anything good in him. Let me now tell you all about my studies, which I only do to satisfy my parents. Just kidding. I'm in 8th standard studying in International Indian School, Alphabet. Basically, I'm from Uttarakhand in India, which is famous for its beautiful hill stations, religious places, rivers like Ganga and Yamuna, and beautiful cities like Nainital, Haridwar, Dehradun, and Mussoorie, etc. It is also famous for its biggest, largest zoo in the India, the Jim Corbett National Park Zoo. Recently, I visited a dam, newly developed dam in Uttarakhand, the Kulaboj Dam. It was really very pretty and I enjoyed the whole trip. We rode a speedboat in the dam and traveled all around the dam and enjoyed the nature's beauty. Now it's my conclusion time. Let me conclude my speech. Last but not the least. The meaning of my name, Bhamika Singh, is Madurka, which means the superpower. And in line with my name, I want to say that I get motivated by my name and be courageous, confident and powerful. And I request you all to be the same and live a happy and cheerful life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leader Bhamika Singh, for that humorous speech. Our second speaker is a very talented football player and he loves to read books. Youth leader Farhan Naufal will deliver his icebreaker project. May I request his youth leader, evaluator, youth leader Vedant Kumar to explain the objective of his roles?
Since the stage is same, na? So
Yeah.
they can just acknowledge that. Every time don't need to read.
Okay. Help me welcome youth leader Farhan Naufal to the podium, please. Speech title: My enemy, my partner. Farhan Naufal. Youth leader Farhan Naufal. My enemy, my partner. Please give a round of applause.
If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner, said Nelson Mandela. Youth leader of the day, fellow youth leader, and distinguished guests. A warm good afternoon to you all.
Afternoon.
On a cloudy winter morning, when the streets was covered with shadows, the sun broke the shackles of the cloud and spread light all over. During this moment, a little boy brought into this world, bringing tears of joy to his parents. Do you know who it was? It was my elder brother, Father, who was always special. After 4 years, on a normal morning, without any special effects, I came to this world. My father silently murmured, "Again, it's a boy," and it was me, Muhammad Farhan Naufal. Do you know what happens every 4 years? Yes, the Football World Cup. Our family planning was also similar. 4 years later, my father again murmured, "Again, it's a boy," and it was my younger brother, Fines. My elder brother is a BTech student, and my younger brother is studying in 7th. My father, Abu Bakr Naufal, is working at Yokogawa, and my mother is Shahina Naufal, is a homemaker. My hobbies to play football and reading books. My ambition is to become a football player. I will narrate a story that happened in my life. I was coming from Medina with my family, and it was so late night. We were in the highway, and it was so dark that we were not able to even see the road clearly. Suddenly, something fell on the roof of the car. It was rain, but it was not like a normal rain, and I got scared. We were not able to even just see the road clearly. So my uncle, who was driving the car, parted aside. The sound of the rain hitting the roof was as if someone throwing metal to our car. And we were shocked since we didn't know what to do. The atmosphere was misty and it was pitch dark. If any car came from behind, we couldn't see, and they wouldn't see us either. I got scared, and butterflies filled inside my stomach. My parents and uncle consoled me by asking to come and not panic. After some time, the rain seemed to stop, so we slowly took off. That day, I realized my biggest enemy is fear, and the best way to overcome fear is to stay calm, work with it, and make your partner. As the great Nelson Mandela said, that day I decided to make my fear my partner. Friends, today I am standing before you, delivering my icebreaker speech. Do you know why? It is because I feared public speaking and have decided to make this fear also my partner. I sincerely thank Manoj and his team for giving me this opportunity to face everything and rise. So, I am going to work with him and make him my partner and eventually overcome the fear of public speaking. Are you with me in this journey?
Yes.
Thank you, and over to you, youth leader of the day.
Thank you, Youth Leader Farhan, for that encouraging and inspirational speech. Our next speaker is youth leader Ritika. Okay. So our third speaker will be youth leader Aaron Emmanuel. He likes to play video games and he's a badminton champion. Please help me welcome youth leader Aaron Emmanuel to the podium, please. Please give a round of applause.
Just wait the evaluator. Just name the evaluator.
Okay.
No need to wait.
The evaluator for our youth leader Aaron Emmanuel is youth leader Fazim Shafi.
No need to repeat.
No need to repeat.
Since it is icebreaker for everybody, no need to repeat. The icebreaker objectives are the same.
Yeah.
Okay? Clear. You all know that, no?
Just name the evaluator name.
Over to you.
I have got the back.
Yes.
Known is a drop, unknown is an ocean. You can also say what you have learned is a mere handful, and what you haven't learned is the size of an ocean. Respected Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and all my fellow youth leaders, a warm good evening to one and all.
Evening.
Hi, I am Emmanuel Josie. Started my journey on a beautiful evening in the year 2007, September 24th. I was born in India, in the God's own country, which is Kerala. My parents were very happy to see me. My father was smiling. I couldn't tell if it was because of seeing me or my mother. My brother, after hearing my arrival, slapped my grandmother in her face. Don't know about his emotions. When I was 90 days old, I came first time to Saudi Arabia, where my real life began. I tried to learn and understand my surroundings. When I was 3 years old, my parents put me into play school. You may think, oh, that's very early. But you should listen to the things I did. First, for example, when my mom used to go to sleep in the afternoon, I would go to the kitchen and pour milk and oil on the floor. When my mom used to wake up, she would start screaming at me and get violent. Because of these good qualities, my parents decided to put me in play school so early. Now I am in 9th standard and is an outstanding student. Not the one you are thinking of, but the one who is made stand outside of the class for various reasons, like being late for school and not doing homework. Now, let me introduce you to my family. My father, Josie Joseph, is working in a company and is a very hardworking person. He gives me the best advice in life. Every stage of my life, he has given me every advice I need, even for the speech. All the humorous jokes are from him. Now comes my mother. She teaches in the school that I study in, International Indian School, IISC. She is given the role of minister in our house, minister of everything. Everything is under her control. I want to go out, father, ask your mom. I want to do this, ask your mom. What am I supposed to do now? Then comes my brother, who is 3 years elder than me. He is in 12th standard and pursuing his studies in India. I have achieved many things in my life. For example, I got first in 5th standard badminton in school and was selected to play for my school for 2 times in the plus 2 mid tournament, where I went to Jeddah and Riyadh. Now comes my ambition. This is a hard thing to say, but first I wanted to be a terrorist, then a socialist, then a businessman, then a pilot, and in the end, I said these problems to my father. He said, the best thing to do is an IT engineer. I did my research. I didn't like it in the beginning, let me tell you, but it gives money. And then I decided to pursue my ambition in it. Now comes my hobbies. My hobbies are playing video games, playing sports, visiting new places, and never studying. Now that I am in 9th standard, my father realized that there is something missing in me. Over a year ago, I also knew that my communication skills are very bad. And I knew there was a thing called Toastmasters because my elder brother was a part of it over 4 years ago. So I researched into Toastmasters and it was closed due to COVID reasons. And then, after 4 to 5 years, Shibu uncle, Toastmaster Shibu uncle, he messaged my father that Toastmasters are reopening and you could join. Then my father and me decided to join. And that's where I wanted to join Toastmaster. And now I'm standing in front of you and on the podium speaking about my icebreaker speech to you all. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, leader Aaron Emmanuel, for such a humorous speech. Our fourth speaker is your leader Joanna Serra. She will deliver her Icebreakers project. Her evaluator is your leader Shailanya Sri. Please help me welcome your leader Joanna Serra. Speech title: Move out of your comfort zone.
Give a big round of applause.
We become what we think. Famous words from Sri Buddha. Youth leader of the day, fellow youth leaders, Toastmasters and guests. A warm good evening to you all.
Good evening.
My name is Joanna Sarah Babu. Do you know the meaning of my name, Joanna?
No.
The meaning is gift of the Lord. I am from Kerala, Calicut, the city of delicious food and famous for halwa. My father, Mr. Babu Thomas, doing own business. My mom, Simi Babu, is a homemaker and good in making delicious food. My breath is shooting up due to her yummy foods. I was born on 2009, June 19. I am studying in 8th grade in ISL. My hobbies are drawing and painting. My favorite art is mandala art. And also I can do beautiful mehndi designs on hand. My ambition is to become a fashion designer. My first ambition was to become a teacher, then to a doctor, and now it is fashion designer. And tomorrow it could be neuron. But one thing I am sure, communication and leadership is required for any role in life. I believe YLP program will help me to come out from my comfort zone. I am very shy and afraid to speak on stage. So my parents added me in this YLP. Parents suggested me to join in YLP program, Periyar YLP program. But I was not interested in it. I cried a lot and I even thought to have a fracture on my hand. My mom fractured my hand to skip this YLP. My mom gave an assurance that you can attend YLP with the bandage on hand. Then my childish mind thought to have a fracture on leg so that I can't walk. Then my mom told me that your dad will carry you on shoulder to the police auditorium. And I decided not to. I slipped from the staircase at King's Hospital. My mom told Jenny, the fear of public speaking is less trouble. My mom told Jenny, your fear of public speaking is less trouble than any fracture. So, my final prayer was to lose the keys of Puri restaurant. But my last prayer was also not answered. Puri kept open for this very Dear youth leaders, I am very fond of one role in YLP. Do you know what is it? It is the R count. I always used to speak with lot of R's. And today's R counter will be countless for R's. And I'm sure that this YLP program will help me to break the chain of R's. My grandmother always used to tell me that shyness is a beautiful ornament for a girl. But I was following her. But my parents always used to say, my parents always pushes me to be strong in life. During YLP opening day, youth leader Aisha Safed told that YLP will remove your shyness to speak in public. So I decided to come out from my comfort zone and delivering my icebreaker speech. Dear youth leaders, come out from your comfort zone. Thank you.
Thank you, leader Joanna Sarah. It was a wonderful speech. Everyone should come out from your comfort zone. Our our fifth speaker is youth leader Arnav Gupta. He will deliver his icebreakers project. His evaluator is youth leader Josman Xavier. Please help me welcome youth leader Arnav Gupta. His speech title is My Personality is My Identity. Youth leader Arnav Gupta.
So, good afternoon to all. Good afternoon to respected Toastmaster, distinguished guests, and fellow youth leaders. My name is Arnav Gupta, a 10 years old boy. In fact, because tiny body could not store all of this personality. And due to this personality, my parents have spent last 2 weeks consulting a formulas for my size. It usually, but they could not succeed. It usually takes them to India and get stitched a formulas of my size. As my mother, Archana Gupta, I had privilege to see various avatars of goddess in my moms. And the most beautiful for me is goddess Durga avatar. When I watch TV or mobile for a long time, is anyone does, right?
Yes.
I also start worshipping with mom and to be calm and become human again. And I was troublemaker and my best friend, my sister, Ananta, who won't just completely after me. She always backbiting me to my mom. And when I come from school to my home, looking at me with big and sharp eyes, growling at me, and a favorite word to express in me is get lost from here. And my dad is like Santa Claus for me. He always fulfills my dreams and wishes, except in my love again me. My hobby is to do karate, and even I'm a champion of it. But my mother always beat me. And I also spend my time recording games and dancing. And in my 7th was backbiting me. One day, we were small kids and we were sitting on a sofa. And my mother's working somewhere. And as every small child minds waits to do mischief, I also waited to do mischief. So, I went to the kitchen slowly, opened the fridge, took a curd packet. When I'm going to eat, open it, and I saw all of a sudden my sister was speaking to my hand and me. I got her. She was talking to backbiting me to my mom. And I got one more idea. Open the fridge, take one more packet of curd, but a smaller one, and then hand the smaller packet to my sister. We both started eating, and my mom thought, why are these children too quiet? So she calmly and saw I was fully covered with curd, clothes, face were dirty. And when she entered the hall, she saw my sister was in the same condition. And my ambition is to become a doctor. Because good doctor always helps the patient by feeling their pain. And I want to also become a good doctor, feel the patient's pain, and help him gladly. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Arnav Gupta, for such an good speech. Our sixth speaker is Youth Leader Arnav Gupta. She will deliver her icebreaker project. Her evaluator is Youth Leader Afra Ashraf. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Arnav Gupta on stage. Her speech title is An Instant. Youth Leader Arnav Gupta.
Is that audible?
Yes.
Yes. You have heard some icebreaker speech. A wonderful, fabulous, but I'm sorry. My icebreaker speech will break out each of your eyes wide open. So hold your breath and be ready. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, parents, distinguished guests, and my friends.
Good evening.
My name is Arna, a sixth grader. At one night, near the time of 3 a.m., while I was sleeping, I suddenly started singing, dancing. My mom, why is my singing? My mom get up. She was not expecting that at all what I was doing. Even I didn't think what I was doing. Then, next. But a few seconds later, I fall in a deep sleep. Next day, my mom said, I have saw Monjalika in this house. By the way, do you know Monjalika? She's a girl doing black magic. I was 6 years old, so I was very scared of her. I suddenly ran towards my sofa in 1,000 km/h speed and jumped in it by tying up my knees. I asked in a scared voice, Mama, where? She said, over there. I was shocked. She was pointing at me sitting in the sofa. Now I again ran, but now in 2,000 km/h speed to hug my mom. I was so scared. Is she appears inside my body? Is she captured my body? She said, don't worry. I will capture the video next time. She chuckled and fed. Next night, she has captured the video. And next time when I saw, I was really shocked and said, Mama, that is me dancing and singing in my dream. You know me the last 6 years and you don't know my this habit. It was the most memorable incident for me. And I want to ask you a question. Please raise your hand. How many of you like ice cream? Please raise your hands. Okay, which flavor?
Chocolate.
Okay, now which flavor?
Chocolate.
Okay, both chocolate. Now any other flavors? Yes? Vanilla. Chocolate and vanilla. They all are also my favorite flavors.
But one condition is there. I have one habit. I used to take 10 to 15 minutes to decide one flavor. And when I go to a mall, there are many flavors. I use minimum 20 minutes to decide one flavor of ice cream. My mom did like that my habit. Hence, they got enough time to shop. Next, I want to tell my hobbies. My hobbies is to dance, singing, art, etc. My ambition is to be an actor. Hence, I am good in acting. And drama do not go school. That is my most liking acting I like. Then, now I need to introduce my family. My most annoying sixth grader, my brother. Hence, he has our previous speaker, Arnab Gupta. He has said one get lost line. Have you remember?
Yes.
Yes. Then he was totally wrong. And whenever I said, he always replied me, first you. Then I want to tell you one more thing. Now, my most lovely and my dangerous life person, my mom. What should I say about her? I am very confused in her one habit. When my brother asked scold, she grabbed me without any reason. I don't know why. Now, my dad, Toastmaster Shishir Gupta. He is very kind, lovely, and Santa Claus to me, as he said in my last speech. Now, I will tell about my thing. My birthplace is Kanpur, Gujarat, Jamnagar, in 16 November 2011. I have 10 hands. One of the hobbies is dancing. I have a dancing YouTube channel. Please go in it, enjoy my dancing videos, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, leader Arna Gupta, for that speech. I think everyone is going to subscribe to your channel. Our seventh speaker is youth leader Isha Naushad. She will deliver her icebreaker project. Her evaluator is youth leader Muhammad Mazi. Please help me welcome youth leader Isha Naushad to the podium, please.
Train your minds to face every situation with courage. Respected youth leaders, Toastmasters, distinguished guests.
Come on.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Back in 2004, my mother, Rosna Naushad, and my father, Naushad PK, got married. After 4 years of waiting, in 2008, December 16, they were blessed with a big girl. They named her Isha, the ruling goddess, and that's me. After 2 years, we were in Bangalore, the garden city of India. In 2011, brother, Rayan Naushad, was born. And when I was 3.5 years, I took my first international flight to Saudi Arabia. Since 2012, I am there in Saudi Arabia, Dubai. And then in 2017, my cute little brother, Naveed, was born. My father is a chemical engineer. He is a very hard-working person. He
Don't worry. Come on. Nothing to worry.
He gave me all the luxuries in my life by his hard working nature. And my mother was a teacher. He gave up her job to take care of me and my family. My ambition is to become a teacher because engineers, doctors, businessmen, all are taught by a teacher.
Exactly.
And my hobbies are drawing, doing calligraphy, reading, etc. Once, my father started noticing a thing, and that was that I was lacking confidence to speak in public and hesitating to speak. So he made me join this program YLP to improve my speaking skills, grammar, confidence, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Theodore Naushad. Our eighth speaker is a person who loves to solve Rubik's Cube and he loves to play football. Youth leader Rayan Naushad will deliver his icebreaker project. His evaluator is youth leader Aisha Fatima. Please help me welcome youth leader Rayan Naushad to the podium, please. Speech titled The Start of Journey.
Don't try to prove to everybody that why you can't is that nobody could. It's no excuse. You can break the tradition by being the first person to make it happen. Good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
Myself, Rayan Naushad, studying in 6th. Now, let me tell you about my journey till now. Are you all ready?
Yes.
We live in the God's own country, in Thrissur district, in Kodungalur, also known as Tranganur, situated on the banks of River Periyar on the Malabar coast and has an illustrious past to tell. Kodungalur's port was so busy in the 1st century BC because it was a gateway for many religious things, such as the first mosque of Indian subcontinent, Kodungalur Temple, St. Thomas Church, and many more. If I start telling about the history of Kodungalur, it can be my whole speech. So I'll tell you that later. Back in 2004, my parents got married. Mr. Naushad came and Mrs. Rusna came. 4 years after my parents' marriage, my sister Isha was born as the first child of our parents. In February 21st, a miracle happened. I was born as the second child of my parents and the middle one after my little brother Navid. I will tell you an incident that happened at the time of my birth. My father planned to come to Kerala from Bangalore before my birth, but I wasn't ready to come out from my mother's womb, so I made him wait. So he went back to Bangalore, and the very next day I was born. So I kind of broke his plan to surprise me. Now let me talk about myself. My ambition is to be a successful businessman, but thinking out of the box is a very good thing. So I thought how to be a businessman. And I asked my father for some advice. This is my plan. First, complete my higher studies, then get a job, work about 5 years to get exposure, learn and expertise in different areas. Then, with the savings, start a business and try my best to maintain it well. So, I prefer you all to think how to reach your ambition and succeed it. The person I get inspired the most is my father. His life story is so inspiring and amazing for him, for me, and he's my best advisor. Because of his determination, he reached the position he is now. Now working as a project manager of Swiss Veolia. My favorite subject is mathematics. Do you know why? Why? Because in mathematics we can solve problems in our own way and find new ways to find the answer. My hobbies are to play football, see TV and solve Rubik's cubes. You will be hearing about Rubik's cubes in almost every speech I will tell you from now on. I'll tell you about one thing. There are two kinds of happiness. Most of you don't know about this because this is the thing I figured out. So, the first happiness is the happiness that goes to your mind. The second one that touches your heart. The one that goes to your mind is not real happiness. You're just thinking it. It will be forgotten after some time. The second one that touches your heart, it is the real happiness. It is the real happiness. It will be remembered in your heart. So, I wish you all the best to succeed your journey and be happy till your journey ends. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, leader. Thank you, leader Ryan Naushad, for such an elevating and encouraging speech. Our ninth speaker is youth leader Jewel Roshan. She will deliver her icebreaker speech. Her evaluator is youth leader Divya Sridhar. Please help me welcome youth leader Jewel Roshan to the stage.
Hello, am I audible?
Please give a round of applause.
Travel expands the mind and fills the gap. Dear youth leader of the day, youth leaders and fellow Toastmasters and parents, a warm good evening. Myself, Jewel Roshan, and my father and mother's name is John Roshan Patrick and Nancy Roshan. My father works at SABIC and my mom works at Jack and Jill. And I have a lovely brother whom I always fight with for a little thing. And the thing I love about my life is traveling. is important. Do you know what is it?
Sit.
It is experience. Experience it is a good lesson. I have traveled when I was 3 months old to Saudi Arabia. I have traveled to many places. Some of them are Switzerland, America, and Georgia. And the monuments I have visited are Qutub Minar, Taj Mahal, and India Gate. The places I have visited in Saudi Arabia is Abha and Riyadh. There is two most favorite places that I love the most, which are Disneyland and Taj Mahal. Disneyland. When I talk about Disneyland, when I entered the Disneyland, I was filled with joy. I saw a big palace in front of me. After that, we headed to a documentary where they show us how they made a film. Cartoon. And we saw a statue of Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney who created Disneyland. After that, we headed to Niagara Falls. It was very amazing. We took serious precautions before going to Niagara Falls. We put it good life jacket so that we could be safe. After that, when we reached the boat, the water was freezing cold and we were laughing with joy. And my second most favorite place is Taj Mahal because it's filled with mysteries. And when I saw Taj Mahal, I was filled with proud for seeing Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal was created by Shah Jahan. And Shah Jahan made Taj Mahal in the memory of Mumtaz, his wife. Taj Mahal is decorated top to bottom. There was an institutor who explained Taj Mahal places one by one. And my favorite food is biryani because it's filled with masalas and it is very tasty. My favorite film is Spider-Man Homecoming because it is filled with action, comedies, and mysteries. Its moral is that you should give your enemies second chance. And my favorite story is Pinocchio because its moral is not to lie and to be honest. My hobbies are singing and dancing because I've been dancing for 7 years. I dance at my free times. It relaxes me a lot. I also sing as much as dancing. I encourage all of you to travel as much as possible and to meet different kind of people, different cultures, and to be motivated. Over to you. And thank you.
Thank you, leader Joel Roshan, for such an dramatic and we can say last but not the least, he is a pop culture enthusiast, loves to watch movies, It's none other than youth leader Adarwa Hanma will deliver his icebreaker project. May I request his evaluator is youth leader Raj Hanman. Speech title, My Life in a Nutshell. Youth leader Adarwa Hanman.
Am I audible? Yes. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity on speaking on stage. Now, to be very honest, I didn't actually in the meaning of. No. Now, to be very honest, I didn't know the meaning of icebreaker speech yesterday. Yesterday, what happened was my mom reminded me of that you have a YLP session tomorrow, and that's when I googled what is icebreaker speech. Then I came to know that it's basically an introductory speech about yourself. I'm not sure if it's the same. I've watched so many videos on YouTube and that's what I understood. So, yeah, my life in a nutshell. My name is Akhtar Paule. I was born in the year 2005. It's 22 September 2005. In the city of Kolhapur. I'm still getting that whistle feeling so. My first interactions as a child were in vernacular medium, which was Marathi medium. After a few years, my dad took me to Kuwait, where I started my schooling in an English medium school in LKG. Now, going to LKG from Marathi medium to English medium, that transition was not easy for a young boy like me. But luckily, I had good friends and good neighbors who helped me in all pursuing my and helped me learning English and just to adjust to the environment. So after a few years, I shifted back to Kolhapur, where again it was hard for me to adjust to that environment because it was a sudden change. Many kids used to bully me in my school and used to make fun of me, due to which I actually became an introvert because I was more like an outcast in my classroom. No one used to like to talk to me because of my irritating nature. My goal was just to make plenty of friends, but I never respected anyone's feelings. That's the reason why no one liked me. But luckily, when I was in 7th standard, I shifted to Saudi Arabia. And I kind of grew up in a healthy environment. I made so many friends over here. And so far my life is going very good. I'm in 1st standard right now. Thank you.
With this, all the prepared speeches is finished. May I get the timer's report, please?
First speaker, Yufrida Wamika, 4 minutes 12 seconds qualified. Second speaker, Yufrida Muhammad Farhan, 3 minutes 48 seconds qualified. Third speaker, Yufrida Aaron, 4 minutes 52 seconds qualified. Fourth speaker, Yufrida Joanna, 5 minutes 21 seconds qualified. Fifth speaker, Yufrida Arna, 4 minutes 6 seconds qualified. Sixth speaker, Yufrida Arna, 5 minutes qualified. Seventh speaker, Yufrida Isha, 3 minutes 50 seconds qualified. Eighth speaker, Yufrida Ryan, 4 minutes 54 seconds qualified. Ninth speaker, Yufrida Joel, 5 minutes 28 seconds qualified. 10th speaker, Yufrida Atharva, 2 minutes 21 seconds disqualified. Congratulations to all the winners and the speakers.
So except one, so all the others are qualified. May I request everyone to cast their valuable votes. So, how was the prepared speech segment? Everyone enjoyed? Yes. Okay. I think all the speakers are in little bit clarified. So let us invite Job Master Engineer Siddharth Manoj to improve your mood.
Good evening to one and all. I hope you are not in a great mood. So I'm going to help you boost your mind with some crackers of riddles. So my first question is, which is the dinosaur with the best vocabulary? Can anyone answer? No? It's the Saurus, the dictionary. Okay, so second riddle is, a man was born in 1918. Now he is celebrating his 22nd birthday. How? Yes,
He was
please.
born on the day of leap year. He was born
No.
on February.
He was born on the road. He was born on the road 1980.
Yes, please. Round of applause. Okay, so let's get into the joke. Once a teacher was teaching children, and all the children were focused on the teacher. So a boy was rubbing something on his hand. The teacher asked, "What are you doing?" He said that, "Ma'am, I'm putting Lothian." The teacher was like, "What? What is Lothian?" He said, "Ma'am, look at this bottle. Johnson's Lothian." The ma'am was like, "What? That is not Lothian, it's lotion." And everybody started laughing on him, and he said, "Sorry, ma'am, I will never repeat this." Thank you.
Thank you, dear Siddharth Manoj, for such a nice joke. Now we will have 10 minutes break and will resume exactly at 10:45. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, good evening once again. Let us start our third segment, the TT session. To conduct this most exciting segment, we have an exciting personality who loves to play football, and I can say a professional footballer. Please help me welcome youth leader Jonathan to conduct this segment. Give a big round of applause. Youth leader of the day, thanks for that generous introduction. Mr. Youth leader, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, a very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I feel elected to be your table topics master. The purpose of table topics is to sharpen our communication skills of listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking on our feet. The time allotted is minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds, after which you will be disqualified. With this, now I invite our first speaker to talk on the selected topic. Our first speaker is Roshan, Youth Leader Roshan. Please set me welcome Youth Leader Roshan to the podium, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Youth Leader Roshan, your topic is, have you done anything lately worth remembering? I repeat, have you done anything lately worth remembering?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Respected Toastmasters and youth leaders, a warm welcome to you all.
Good evening.
My topic today is, what have you done lately that is worthwhile remembering? What have I done recently that is worth remembering is probably joining this Periyar Youth Leadership Program. Taking upon the opportunity to join this program a couple of weeks ago, going to the interview, answering the questions with my head held up high, even though I was nervous, and getting the approval of you are now joined as an official member of the Periyar Youth Leadership Program. Last week, giving my first ever speech on stage, Even though my legs didn't even want to move, my heart pounding, my stomach filled with butterflies, my head dizzy. Even though all of these fears came into my mind, still giving it my best and saying my speech. This is something that is definitely worthwhile remembering now and in the future, and I'm happy at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Roshan. Now our second speaker is Youth Leader Harun. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Harun to the podium, please. Youth Leader Harun, your topic is which is worse, failing or never trying? I repeat, which is worse, failing or never trying?
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and distinguished guests, a warm good evening to one and all.
Evening.
My topic is which is worse, failing or never trying? I would say never trying is the worst thing, because if we try, we will be once successful. We might not have the hope, but as we try to do everything comes inside ourselves, and we will be once able to do the work which we might leave if we fail. So I would like to conclude by saying that never trying is worse than failing.
Thank you, Youth Leader Harun. Now our third speaker is Youth Leader Pragati. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Pragati to the podium, please. Youth Leader Pragati, your topic is what gets you excited about life? I repeat, what gets you excited about your life?
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and all our guests, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Pragati, and today my topic is what gets you excited in life. So every time in school, when I come, I always come like this, very normal, very tired, always hungry, and when I get the slip of trip for the school, I am like, oh my god, mom, I got a slip for the trip, and I'm very excited. So the slip of the trip means a lot to me, because spending time with my friends is like a really big thing for me, and that's the reason why I go to school every day with cheerful smiles or excitement inside me and really happy. So the trip is really exciting for me, and when I go to the bus, I'm like, okay, I'm going on a trip, so how much time will it take to reach there? And I'm always curious what all rides I'm going to take, and what all things am I going to do. And my friends are like, calm down, we're going to have a good time, and it's like that. So if I talk about the most exciting thing in my life, is always the trip to the school. I mean, not the school, the trip, school trip. So thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Pragati. Now our fourth speaker is Youth Leader Siddharth. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Siddharth to the podium. Youth Leader Siddharth, your topic is, do you celebrate the thing you do have? I repeat, do you celebrate the thing you do have?
Youth Leader of the Day, dear teaching master, dear guests and Toastmasters, a warm good evening to all.
Good evening.
Again.
Do you celebrate the thing you do have?
So, the thing I most celebrate is my sister's birthday. My sister was born in 2021, September 8th, which is Women's Day. And it is one of the most exciting days for me. So, about 2 months ago, it was my sister's birthday. We all celebrated it very well. And my sister was so happy. I was so happy to see her face. She was smiling, chuckling, looking at the cake. It was so wonderful to watch. And after cutting the cake, she was staring at the food items. Everywhere, buddy, we're eating very greedily. But she cannot get a bit of the food because it's not for her. She was kind of sad and she was looking everywhere. And then I decided that I felt bad for her. I gave her a little piece of paneer curry, which I had, and when I gave it to her, she started smiling at me. That was one of the biggest smiles she had ever given me. She smiled about for 5 seconds, but it was one of the greatest moments of my life. I love my sister Satpika so much. Thank you so much for listening to my experience.
Thank you, Leader Siddharth. Now our fifth speaker is Youth Leader Aisha Fatima. Please help me welcome Youth Leader Aisha Fatima to the podium.
Am I audible?
Youth Leader Aisha Fatima, your topic is what makes you smile. I repeat, what makes you smile?
Distinguished guests, respected Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, a very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
So, what makes me smile, right? Actually, my parents, my friends, and many people make me smile. And the last time I smiled was a few weeks later. It was my 7th grade election. I was, of course, participating. And I was first not participating because last time on 6th grade I already participated and I won. And I thought maybe I should give other people the chance to win. Because I can always win, right? So, I actually didn't want to join, but then my sister and my friend were like, you should join. It doesn't matter if you don't win or not. Well, yeah, I joined. And I did really good on 4 classes. I'm proud of that. And I didn't make a mistake. I'm really proud of that too. And it was the time for the results. The results didn't come like in 6th grade. The teacher came to our class and said the results. But this time, I didn't know the results, so I went up to the teacher and I asked her, who won for the Ruby House captain? And she said, Lasia. But actually, I wanted to ask vice captain. So I asked her, who won for the vice captain? And she said, Aisha Fatima. I was so surprised. I was so happy on that day. Me and my friends like screamed as we escaped like a mental asylum. And thank you everyone for listening, and over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Aisha Fatima. Please give a tremendous round of applause to all the table topic speakers. Thank you. Over to the wine group.
Timers report.
Can I have the timer's report, please?
Hold on. Yes.
So the first speaker, Youth Leader Mohammed Roshan, 1 minute 13 seconds qualified. Second speaker, Youth Leader Mohammed Haroon, 52 seconds disqualified, as you have to speak for at least 1 minute. Third speaker, Youth Leader Pragati, 1 minute 27 seconds qualified. Fourth speaker, Youth Leader Siddharth, 1 minute 40 seconds qualified. Fifth speaker, Youth Leader Aisha, 1 minute 45 seconds qualified. Congratulations to all the winners and speakers.
Thank you. Over to the wine group. Thank you, leader Sivas Jonathan, for conducting such a energetic table topic segment. All the speakers were telling it very energetic, and I like all the speeches. Now it's the last segment, evaluation segment. We all need improvement. We are not perfect in anything. So for improvement, we need constructive feedback. So let us have expert comments from our general evaluator and his team. Our general evaluator today is a true symbol of commitment and support. Ever encouraging and dedicated youth leader Adib Sheikh. Please help me welcome youth leader Adib Sheikh to evaluate today's segment. Youth leaders, please cast your valuable vote for the table topic speakers. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Youth Leader, for the wonderful introduction. Fellow youth leaders, respected Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good evening to everyone. I welcome you all to another exciting session, the evaluation session. This session is very unique and an important session in the Toastmaster educational program. We talk to many people and do many things in our personal and professional lives, but very seldom we get instant feedback with compassion and motivating us. In this youth leadership program, we got experienced youth leaders who give very wonderful feedback to motivate the speaker and explain his areas of strength, which we can capitalize in further, and areas which need some extra attention. For evaluating the prepared and key speeches, I have tonight a very strong team of seasoned, stylish, and very effective evaluators. To evaluate the first icebreaker speech, I would like to call upon a 10th grader in IIFJ who loves playing cricket, youth leader Mohammed Haroon.
Yeah, you want? Let's go ahead.
Am I audible? Yes. Thank you, General Manager, for a wonderful introduction. Respected Toastmasters, youth leaders, and distinguished guests, a warm good evening to one and all. I'm here to evaluate Vamika Singh for her speech. Title of her speech was Courage Over Fear. It gave a very nice start, which might have caught many attentions of many people. I was one of them. Then you explained about your family's birthplace, hobbies, ambitions, and more things. Your speech was also humorous. You made people laugh and got their attentions in the middle. Thing I loved most after the start was you spoke and expressed yourself freely. Rendered your speech with a nice conclusion. There is a scope of improvement in every speech. In line with that, I have small recommendation to improve your way of presenting speeches in future speeches. There was only one kind of voice. You could have lowered and hide your voice in places where it's required.
Overall, your speech was really amazing. Wishing you all the best for the future speeches and assignments. Over to you, Chairman. Thank you, Leader Mohammed Harun, for that constructive evaluation. Now, for the second icebreaker speech, we have a ninth grader in IISG who loves book reading and video games, youth leader Vedant Kumar Singh.
Am I audible? Yes. Respected Toastmasters, young leaders, and all my dear friends, a very warm good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
My name is Vedant, and today I will be speech evaluating Muhammad Farhan. His topic of his speech was my enemy, my partner. He started very well with a quotation. Like we heard in the workshop by Sir Rohit, he said that the first 15 seconds of your speech defines your speech. And he started very well with a great quotation. He also had a connection of quotation in his whole speech, where he shows that he faced his fears. He also had story in his speech, which made the audience connected to the speech. Many people are not able to come to stage because of their fear, but he faced his fear and came on the stage and gave his speech, which is a big achievement. I also like the fact that he added humor in many places, and that is what makes the audience laugh. I have some small recommendations. If he rectifies it in his speech, his next speech will be even better. Those are, one is expression. You could have added some expression to your speech. That would have given liveliness to your speech. Also, you could have used the podium. That will also look good in the speech. Other than that, you did a very good job and a splendid job. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Vedant Kumar Singh, for that effective evaluation. Now, for our third icebreaker speech of the day, we have an evaluator who is the sixth grader in IISG, Youth Leader Farzeen Shafi.
Good evening to Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and parents. Myself, Periyar YLP. Now it's my turn to evaluate youth leader Aaron Emmanuel Joseph. His title was "Known is a Drop, Unknown is an Ocean." What an amazing title it is. As a speaker, I believe that Aaron had a very good presentation style. His presentation was very organized. I feel Aaron's performance was optimal to the audience. He used appropriate language, learned his speech, and performed to the audience very well. He was so confident to say speech. And he tell from his heart. I feel that. And one thing I noticed that his smile. His smile was very nice. I liked his smile. A few recommendations that you want to little more love it you want to try. And try to look every audience. But then also he said amazingly. And give a big clap. Once again, give a big clap for Aaron. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Over to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Farzeen Shafi, for that wonderful evaluation. Next up, we have a ninth grader in IISG to evaluate our fourth speech, Youth Leader Chaitanya Shri.
leader. I was mesmerized. What an amazing icebreaker speech that was. Any speech should touch and get. Your speech did it. You were like able to take all of us in your journey. Now, a good point about the speech was the opening. You had a quote. That's like when the workshop began, like opening with a quote, it was very good, you did it with a quote. And during your speech, you had humor in it. That was no good. It made us all laugh. Now, however, there is always a room for improvement. I recommend hand gestures. See, like whenever you give a speech, hand gestures is very important because even if you're not that confident, it makes you look confident if you have hand gestures, right? And your eye contact. It didn't feel like you were connected with the audience. So next time, please try to contact the audience and have your eye contact, okay? So I conclude this with a good opening, humor, hand gestures with the recommendations, hand gestures and eye contact. And that's all from my side. And thank you and over to you.
Next up to evaluate our fifth speech of the day, we have a ninth grader who loves reading and drawing. Youth leader Joseph Xavier.
General evaluator, fellow youth leaders, respected Toastmasters, and youth leader Arnav in particular. Good evening. You started off the speech with great energy and enthusiasm. During the speech, you engaged the audience with questions. And third, humor. Your speech was filled with something that I don't find in many speeches. Congratulations. Now a few tips for a better speech. I noticed that you were standing at the middle of the stage and moving front and back. You could have used the stage more, like moving from left to left. Move with a purpose. When you said that you came back from school, instead of moving from back to forth, you could have gone from, if you were using the stage, from left to right or right to left. That concludes my evaluation. Over to you.
Thank you, Youth leader Joseph Xavier. Next up to evaluate our sixth speech of the day, we have a seventh grader in INSJ who loves singing, youth leader Afra Ashraf.
Thank you, General. Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow youth leaders, Toastmasters, distinguished guests, parents, mentors, and most welcome guests.
Good evening.
Good evening. For this meeting, I will be evaluating Youth Leader Arna Gupta. Yes, Youth Leader Arna Gupta. Your title was an incident. What a great title for a speech. You started with great confidence and a sweet smile to engage all the audience. The way you started your speech with what you felt like others felt was a great, amazing start for your speech. The body of your speech was great with the personal experience you experienced, and you did a great job of expressing your habits with humor. The humor of your speech was greatly balanced. You did great eye contact, and it is a great quality for a speaker as well as a leader. The voice modulation was done greatly, and with the hand gestures, it made it even awesome. Overall, it was amazing, but a few recommendations that I would give you is try making your transitions smooth. I think you got panicked at the last when you saw the green light. If you make the transition better, I would really think that you would be a great speaker. And another recommendation that I would give you is the conclusion. The conclusion was a bit fast, I think. You got a bit panicked, but that's okay. Overall, it was awesomely done. Good job. Give a round of applause, please. And if you guys listen to the recommendations and do a great job, I strongly believe that you will be a great speaker and a great leader. Thank you.
Well done.
Now to evaluate our seventh speech of the day, we have a youth leader who loves sports and spending time with his family and friends. He's a 10th grader in IIS grade, youth leader Mohammed Mazen.
Then you want this?
respected Toastmasters, and all my fellow youth leaders. Myself, Mohammed Mazin. Today, I have been given the opportunity to evaluate my fellow youth leader, Ms. Isha. Her title being My Life in 5 Minutes. She was given a time of 4 to 5 minutes to impress us, and let me tell you, you succeeded. Opened with a quote and started her speech by greeting and acquiring our attention. She delivered it beautifully and inspired us all. But there is always room to improve. What I recommend you, Isha, is to use hand movements a lot more frequently and look at the audience more often. With this, you will be able to be the best of yourself, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Youth Leader Mohammed Mazin, for that evaluation. Next up, to evaluate our 8th speech of the day, we have a 7th grader in IIFG who loves writing, Youth Leader Aisha Fatima.
Thank you, General Evaluator, respected Toastmasters, distinguished guests, fellow youth leaders, a warm good evening to all of you.
Evening.
Today, I will be evaluating youth leader Ryan P. Naushad for his icebreaker speech. The title was Start of the Year. He started with a marvelous scope. The confidence was really good. Nice transition, it was really smooth. Eye contact was nice. Hand gestures was incredible. Language was great. The voice modulation was good too. And quite a few recommendations. Could have used the stage a lot, and also could have added a bit more expression while you were saying the speech. And a bit more humor. Other than this, you were lovely. I'm pretty sure you can improve all this. You're already a great speaker. Keep up the good work and amazing confidence. Over to you.
Next, to evaluate our 9th speech of the day, our original evaluator was Youth Leader Divya Sridhar, but she's not present with us here. So instead, I would like to invite DTM Harish sir.
I have observed that you have good, great expectations on Divya Sridhar, and I had to fill in for that role. And before leaving, Divya gave me her notes of the speech. That was very professional on paper. Now, with the aid of these notes, let me try to do the evaluation of Jewel Roshan. Jewel, nice job. You came on stage and you did a pretty much very good introduction of yourself, your hobbies, your food, your movie, and the book you like the most. This is pretty very comprehensive. Let's start from the title of the speech. Grow with traveling. She was passionate, she's a passionate traveler. And she told us vivid descriptions of many different places. Disneyland, Taj Mahal, Niagara Falls. Wasn't it? We all felt like we were going on a journey with her.
Yes.
And finally, she concluded with a message that connects with her passion with the title. Go out, go travel, meet different people. Amazing job, wonderful speech craft, good delivery. However, here we come for improvements. I have 2 recommendations here. It looks like many of the youth leaders, you try to memorize speeches verbatim. Please do not do that. There is no need for that. There is no need to stick with the exact words, the exact sentences, and the exact sequences in which you have put it in your script. Just remember which are the main points that you will be speaking about. Then verbalize them in your own words. Practice at home. You make use of your script. When you practice at home, try to narrate them based on the script, but it is not necessary to exactly reproduce the same word without any sort of difference while you are delivering your speech. All that you need to convey is the content. And secondly, when you describe a place like Taj Mahal, see it in your mind's eye that you are standing in front of Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is decorated from top to bottom. When you see those things in your mind's eye, that will immerse you, the whole person, into whatever you are speaking about. There, your body language, your gestures, your expressions, your movements, and your words, all of them will synchronize. Therefore, internalize the speech. When you are trying to speak, see it in your mind's eye and describe it passionately. Alright? You have performed amazingly well, and we feel proud that the future is in safe hands. With that, okay.
Now moving forward to evaluate the last icebreaker speech of the day, I have a 10th grader who studies in IISJ and loves art and craft, youth leader Raj Hanuman.
Good evening to one and all present here.
Good evening.
I am the evaluator of the 31st Youth Leader Atharva. You did an amazing job giving that speech. I liked the way you started the speech, but your speech just felt like it ended without any conclusion. You really need to work on your confidence. You had written so many things on your bucket list, but felt shy to share it. Lastly, it would have been nice if you had spoken for 1 or 2 minutes more. That's why don't scare to speak and speak whatever comes to your mind. Because this is not a school competition or a challenge. This is just a program where public speaking skills are input. So I hope you will deliver an optimal speech next time. Thank you.
That concludes the evaluation for the icebreaker speeches. And now to evaluate the table topic speakers, I have a 7th grader in IISJ who loves football and reading books, Mohammed Faiz Naufal.
Thank you, Mr. Yukila, for that wonderful introduction. Fellow Yukilas and distinguished guests, good evening to all. The first table topic speaker was Yukila Emotions, Empowerment and the speech was amazing. The positive about this speech is you start the speech with a confident introduction. You give a personal experience so that all the audience will so clear. The recommendation. The ending could be more effective and end with a quote. Moving. The second table topic speaker was Mr. Muhammad Khan, and his topic was it was a fabulous idea. The highlight of his speech was he was confident to the point explained his way. Recommendation. You use the stage more and try to be at least until you find the key.
30 seconds.
The third table topic speaker was Nuclear Harden. Her attempt was fantastic. The highlight of her speech was you had a good introduction and you delivered the speech. Excellent. Recommendation. You could use the podium and don't rush, take 10 seconds and organize. The fourth table topic speaker was Nuclear It was an amazing speech. The highlight of his speech was you had a good voice modulation and continuity and it was a flow. Recommendation. Conclusion was try to have powerful conclusion which an enhanced speech. The fifth and final table topic speaker was Aisha Fatima. Her attempt was fabulous. The highlight of her speech was you had a good introduction and utilizing well staged. Also, you included a personal story. Recommendation. Conclusion was abrupt and try to have a powerful conclusion which can enhance your speech.
Overall, I congratulate all speakers on their attempts. My humble recommendation to all is not to the topics and use 5 seconds to organize the speech at the beginning. Thank you, dear Toastmaster and your youth leaders, for giving me this opportunity, and I hope my humble suggestion shall help you, my fellow youth leaders, to transform into a better speaker and leaders. Over to you, General Evaluation.
Now may I get the timer's report, please?
The first evaluator, youth leader Mohammed Haroon, 1 minute 20 seconds qualified. Second evaluator, youth leader Vedant, 1 minute 28 seconds qualified. Third evaluator, youth leader Farzeen, 1 minute 29 seconds qualified. Fourth evaluator, youth leader Chaitanya, 1 minute 24 seconds qualified. Fifth evaluator, youth leader Jospen, 50 seconds disqualified because you at least have to evaluate for 1 minute. Sixth evaluator, youth leader Afra, 1 minute 44 seconds qualified. Seventh evaluator, youth leader Muhammad Mazin, 51 seconds disqualified. Eighth evaluator, youth leader Aisha, 50 seconds disqualified. Ninth evaluator, DTM Harish Bhargavan, 3 minutes 4 seconds disqualified because Harish Shankar went more than 3 minutes. 10th evaluator, youth leader Raj, 54 seconds disqualified. Table topic evaluator, youth leader Muhammad Faiz, 2 minutes 45 seconds qualified.
What counter?
Now I would like to invite the World Master and Grammarian to come to the lectern to give his report, please.
Yeah, what counter can cast their votes? Yeah, you can tell also.
May I request all of you, including the guests, to cast your vote.
So, you want this?
Good evening, youth leaders, Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. A warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
So, I am a grammarian. So, there are some people who use the word correctly. First, youth leader Vamakasi, then youth leader Percy, then DTM Manojangal, DTM Ramulan. So, I have seen some creative use of language by Farhana Ekot, Joanna Ekot, and Ishan Naushad Ekot. Then some grammatical mistakes. Don't say on the card. Say on the card instead of off the card. Say recommendation instead of recommendation. There are so many persons who deal with proper sentences. But Monica said only one proper sentence
Now I would like to invite our counter, youth leader Mohammed Roshan, to give his report.
Vamita Singh, 0 verbal touches, 0 fillers, 0 word repetitions, and 1 pause in the end of the speech. Farhan Naufal, 0 verbal touches, 0 fillers, 0 repetitions, and 0 pauses. Aaron Emmanuel, 0 verbal touches, 0 fillers, 0 word repetitions, and 0 pauses. Joanna Sarah, 3 to 4 verbal touches, couple of unnecessary words / fillers in the middle of the speech, and 2 repetitions and 2 to 3 long pauses in the beginning and middle of the speech. Arnav Gupta, 1 to 2 verbal touches, 1 filler / unnecessary words, 0 repetitions, 0 pauses. Arnav Gupta, 1 to 2 verbal touches, 2 fillers, 0 repetitions, and 0 pauses. Isha P. Naushad, 4 verbal touches, 3 to 5 fillers, 5 word repetitions, and 2 to 3 long pauses in the beginning and middle of the speech. Ryan P. Naushad, 0 pauses, 0 word repetitions, 0 verbal touches, and 0 fillers. Joel Roshan, 0 verbal touches, 3 fillers / unnecessary words, 4 to 5 word repetitions, and 2 long pauses. Atharva Hanman, 1 to 4 verbal touches, 2 fillers / unnecessary words, 1 word repetition, and having some pauses in the end of the speech. Now to the table topics. Mohammed Harun, 0 verbal touches, 0 fillers, 0 word repetitions, and 0 pauses. Pragati P. Pillai, 0 verbal touches, fillers, word repetitions, and pauses. Siddharth Manoj, 0 verbal touches, fillers, word repetitions, and pauses. Aisha Fatima, 0 verbal touches, fillers, word repetitions, and pauses.
My dear friends, let us give a big round of applause to all these evaluators and assignees for their excellent performance. Now it is my turn to evaluate the overall proceedings of the meeting. Appreciable points are, the meeting started on time and we are actually ahead of time now. And we had 2 workshops today, which were both interesting and educating. A recommendation would be to increase the use of the word of the day, as only a handful of people use this. I would like to encourage the increase the use of the word of the day. Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for giving me the opportunity. Over to you, leader of the day.
Thank you, Ravi Sheikh. What a constructive and encouraging evaluation sector, isn't it?
Yes.
I think all will take the recommendation and improve. Please give a round of applause to all the general evaluator and the dedicated team. Now I request our ward counter, user Ishan Malik, to come to the lectern and announce the today's result. Yeah, I also request our YLP coordinator, president.
Counting the votes actually, you can other facilities can tell.
What is this step?
Next meeting aside is now.
So our next meeting will be held on 3rd June. Icebreaker speakers are Muhammad Adib Sheikh, Joseph Xavier, Afra Ashraf, Mohammed Mazin Mohammed, Mohammed Faiz, Mohammed Ishan Malik, Sifas Jonathan, Aisha Fatima, and Chaidanishwari. The YLOD will be Arna Gupta. The World Master and Grammarian will be Siddharth Manoj. General Evaluator will be Mohammed Roshan. Accountant will be Mohammed Harun. TD speakers will be Vedant Kumar, Behzat Ahmed, Karthik Suresh, Farzin Shafi, Aaron Emmanuel. The TT evaluator will be Divya Sridhar. The job master will be Ryan Naushad. And the TT master will be Jewel Roshan. Any concerns? Okay. So these are will be the next assignment.
Yeah, the detailed agenda I will circulate everybody. Okay, then you can go through the details. There are some corrections are there, changes are there. Okay, I will share with you.
So it's a time for the voting session.
Are you all ready?
Yes. Yes.
The best speaker award.
Invite.
Just wait the evaluation. Just wait the evaluation. Just wait 2 minutes.
Okay. Please, Harish, you can come to the podium. YLP coordinator managing. Okay. Please give a big round of applause.
Okay. The best speaker award, Aaron Emmanuel. Please come to the team. Next, Arnav Gupta. And then Vamika Singh. Okay.
Just wait.
Group photo. Picture. Remove the mask.
Are you all ready for PT speakers now?
Yes.
Best PT speaker, Siddharth Manoj. Next, Mohammed Roshan. Youth leader Pragati Pillai.
One more is there. One more is there.
Last, but not least, Aisha Fatima.
Thank you all.
So please, Shrestha, please come to the stage. Shrestha, please.
Roshan.
Best evaluators, youth leader Afra Ashraf. Next, youth leader Chetan Yasvi.
Give a round of applause.
Next, youth leader Vedant Singh.
Thank you. Thank you all. Now please.
Manoj, you need to special.
Overview, youth leader Abdul.
Congratulations to the winners and all the speakers and attendees. Dear youth leaders, I have really enjoyed being your YLP today and hope you also enjoyed. I express my sincere gratitude to our President and YLP Coordinator, Manoj Uncle, and all other leaders and mentors of Periyar YLP for their help and support to conduct this wonderful show. Thank you very much. Let me remind you once again the importance of the bucket list in your life. From the time you start preparing the bucket list, you will really surprise the list coming to your mind one by one. And you will really face difficulty to minimize the list. That will be a big challenge for you to limit the list. If you put something in the bucket list, you must accomplish that. Do not mention anything in your list until that becomes your strong desire and your dream. Your bucket list shall be a very serious list and never take it as silly as you think. Start thinking your taste, interest and wish. Once that becomes important for you, then put that in your list. As our APJ said, dream is not what you see in the sleep. Dream is something which doesn't let you sleep. So work hard to achieve your dream from your bucket list. Thank you and good night. Over to you, President.
How was our president today? Outstanding. Outstanding. He is the youth leader of today, and since the president left, as the vice president of education, he is the acting president, and he has done an amazing job. Give him a round of applause. Around the last week, we had a happy achievement by one of our youth leaders. Shouldn't we celebrate it?
Absolutely.
Yes. Please help me invite to the stage our Chief YLP Coordinator, and the second runner-up in Saudi Arabia District Gavel Showcase, Youth Leader Chaitanya Singh. I invite distinguished Toastmaster Biju Sia to please come on the podium to hand over our token of appreciation to you, Leader Chaitanya Singh. We have now exactly 12 minutes left. And as usual, we have some usual procedures. I hope all of you are aware and will know. Who are the parents who are not Toastmasters present in the hall today? Can we see a show of hands? Parents who are not Toastmasters, please raise your hands. Yes, I invite 3 of you who haven't come to the podium earlier. Please come. 3 parents. Please come now. Yes. And yes, one more. Please do not make me call the name. Please come. Voluntarily. Madam Archana, please. So this is the time we would like to learn from you. You can speak for 1 minute as to what you experienced, what you saw here.
It's a kind of table topics.
Good evening, everyone. For me, is the wonderful programs which was first time we are attending such kind of students and children's programs, and the witness is my son, Mohammed Roshan, because he was very hesitated boy, which never comes in front of us in the beginning. And when he started here the journey, we never give any training or we never give any advice. Whatever you like it, go and perform. So that I was really wondering that first day he was not fear anything in the stage performance. Then second time today he also have a winner. Oh my God! Thank God that. And also all other children, it was amazing. And actually we never expect such kind of talent boys getting information through youth. And we are very thanks to all of you. And please continue this journey for the future generation also. Thank you very much all of you, and keep going. Keep going this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Archana.
Good evening to all.
Good evening.
Good evening to our youth leaders especially, because they are our bright future.
Yes.
So please keep signing and wish you good luck to all of you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, I thank Periyar Toastmasters Club for the great opportunity for these students to develop their speaking skill. I think it is very helpful for these students to develop their career. Thank you.
I would now invite to see the Vice President membership detail.
No, this time is coordinator.
Okay.
No, you have to come. they will feel more actually. Actually, sir, humble request that your services continues to be required for the Toastmasters class. Not only for Periyar YLP, but we are Periyarians always are committed to Periyar. Thank you very much.
I will take a photo. Wait.
Youth leaders, Reshma, please come. Come. our youth leader Shrestha. She is a youth leader, but she is a member of Periyar Toastmasters Club. So, 1 minute. What do you have to say? What do you want to say?
Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters, and most importantly, the youth leaders.
Good afternoon.
Participating in the youth leader program for the first time, it was a very blissful experience, and I can close out one box in my bucket list. The meeting was beautifully handled by the youth leaders themselves, with no support from the Toastmasters, and if taken advantage of properly, you guys would get so many good qualities which will help you guys a lot in the future. And if I could add one point to the sessions done, reading would be a very good thing which you could do to improve your skills and to get more content, for your table topics. Like you won't have a lot of courses or anything, and you could get more content. So, all the best for the coming days and the program. Thank you for having me.
Well done. Dear all, now I have some job to continue. Last session, we started a discussion. We told that if you study well, you will get a job, but from there, the progression is determined by something else. What was that? I want answer from youth leaders. What was that? Whatever you remember, you can say. Do you remember anything? That's okay. What do you remember? That only you do.
Tell frankly. Seize your forum.
You do not even remember even a single word?
Sir told experience about the most studying kid didn't reach, but the one who didn't study reached good positions.
Okay, I didn't say that exactly. What I told is that.
Not like that.
Right. What I told is that.
Round of applause for him.
See that you will all be told that you have to study well, get good marks. But we were also told the same thing. We also studied very hard, got good marks. After that, we graduated out of college. We went down and joined some respective organizations for job. Then what? After about 5 or 10 years, we went back for reunions into our schools and colleges. And what we saw there was that it was not the most studious guy or the guy who reached the best position. It was the people who could get along well with others. Okay? I'm not telling you once again, that day I reiterated, I'm not telling you that studies is useless. Studies will benefit you. Study, do work, it will get you a job. Or it will help you raise enough funds to start your dream venture. It will get you to the starting point. But from the starting point, to move ahead, you will have to work with a unique creature. Do you know what that unique creature is? Human beings, other human beings. They are the most complex creatures on earth. Each one of us, we ourselves are more complex than the most complex, most advanced supercomputer. And we will have to deal with tens or 50s or hundreds of other similar creatures who are the most complex supercomputers in the world, and they constitute the real world. The theory and the book that we read, that will not be sufficient in most of the cases to understand and interact with the society and with others. And for that, the set of skills that you will need to have, it is called emotional intelligence. Emotions means feelings. Okay? So what was seen is people who know their own emotions and who can understand others' emotions and accordingly calibrate their interactions. Those kind of people, they were the ones who were progressing really fast. And one very, very good thing about emotional intelligence is that this is something that is learnable. You can teach, you can learn what does it involve and how should actually we need to respond in certain kind of situations. But today we have to understand how did we end up in this place? How did it so happen that all the education doesn't really translate into how the best way to behave in this world? I am short of time, but pardon me if I take maybe 5 minutes more today, okay? Let me ask you a question. Here I have a light pen and a heavy pen. Okay, if I drop it on the floor, which one will hit the floor first?
Heavy pen.
Heavy pen. Okay, you want to say something? I'm going to, is there any different answer? Anybody?
Both of them will hit the same.
You are right, okay? He is the right person. You see for yourself. Okay? But our humanity, in the BC 2000, Aristotle said, if you drop two bodies, one heavy and one light, the heavy body will fall first on the ground. And human beings, we people, believed it for how many years can you imagine? 1,500 years. Nobody bothered to do an experiment and see whether Aristotle told is right or wrong. It was Galileo. He went on top of Pisa, the leaning tower of Pisa, that's a story, and he dropped two stones and found that both of them hit the ground the same time, and that is why it is said that modern science started with Galileo's that experiment. Alright, so what is the difference between this scientific methodology and the previous methodology? Previously, we used to believe whatever somebody told. We never bothered to verify and find experimentally whether it is right or wrong. And to experimentally verify and understand, human beings and our nature and characteristics, there was a very big constraint for us. Because all that we could model, human nature was similar to that of a computer. So the best way scientists could tell us how humans behave is the way a computer will behave. And what is the issue there? What is the problem? If you think that human beings and computers are similar, is there a problem?
Yes, human beings have emotions, computers don't.
Exactly. Computers are purely rational. They will make some calculations and they will give the most logical answer. But do we behave logically? No. If you have to, yes, we don't. You are right. If you have to choose a shirt, how can you logically decide whether should we buy a red shirt or a blue shirt? Is there a logical way to find it? Is there a rational way to find it? Yes. But we have to make this kind of decisions on our day-to-day life, don't we?
Yes, sir.
How do we make the decision?
Emotionally.
Based on our emotions, based on our feelings. So, most of our decisions and behaviors are dictated by our emotions, but all that science could tell us was about everything except emotions. So, that is the reason our curriculum, our schools, and our teachers, they were not teaching us about emotions because we understood so little about emotions. And then, in the last century, there was a new field in medical science called MRI and fMRI scans. They could scan your brain images and the way the brain works when you experience sadness, fear, happiness and all. And therefore, from that, the scientific clarity about what are emotions, how actually they influence us, how to trigger them, what are the right techniques and methods to bring them or manipulate them or to make the best use of them, that came to light. So this field of emotional intelligence is a very, very recent one. It is not physics as old as 2000 years. It is the best-selling book on emotional intelligence was published only in the year 1995. It is so recent and it is so advanced. So I have exceeded my time by 2 minutes. We will continue this discussion in the subsequent sessions. Before we adjourn, we have one more thing to do, that is nothing but our group photo. Let me request DTM Shiva, DTM Sabu, please come on stage. Let's make the arrangements. We have to move the podium. Yes? Yes. Please move. Let us keep this sofa. Okay, this sofa straight. Let me request all the parents, please. Please, all the parents, please come and sit on the sofas, okay? All the parents, please. All the parents, please occupy these seats. All the ladies, please come and sit. All the ladies, please come and sit. Okay, yes. All the sixth graders, please come and stand behind. All the sixth graders, please come and form a row behind the sofa. Sixth graders, form a row behind the sofa. Okay, parents can move back. Thank you. Okay. Let the sixth graders stand in the front. Yes. Parents form a third row. Okay. Okay. Sixth graders. Okay. Okay. Now the seven or rest of them, please sit on this stage in front.
First level, second level.
Yes. Is it possible to sit? Okay. Okay, sit.
Can you sit down? Yeah. Sit down.
Sit. Okay. Chaitanya, we come sit here. Okay.
You can come in the Zulus.
Yes.
You can come the
Now rest of us, we have to accommodate ourselves on the side. Please come to the side.
other side. Just then, other side. Yeah, other side. Everybody. Come front. Check. Let us say cheese. Thumbs up. Roshan. Somebody has to.
നമ്മുടെ ബെസ്റ്റ് ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫർ മൈക്ക് ഒരു 1 second.
Let's go for dinner.
The video.